Today, baby. All right, guys. Hopefully, the audio and video is working better this time. Let me know if not, and I can fix it or change it. Remember, guys, that the Wednesday live streams are long form shows. So we'll be on here for 1, 2, 3 hours, whatever it ends up being. Please feel free to stop by and say hi, smash the like button, and we'll be back in a few minutes after some more people roll in here. And we'll see you in just a few minutes. right, guys. Izzy wants to say hello. She hasn't seen you guys for a while. What's up, motherfuckers? Say hi, everybody. I miss y'all. They're over here. They're right there. Who is it? Who is it? Say something. Say something, girl. Come on, speak up. Talking to the microphone. No? All right. So Izzy wanted to come on here and say hi. Of course, Daddy fumbled the bag and forgot the snack for her again. I had to reset my computer, that's why I was a little bit late. Hopefully things look normal and sound normal. Hopefully you guys are all doing well and had a happy Thanksgiving. Your man has been working his butt off with this Uber gig. Man, I've been working some crazy hours out there, guys. So, as you guys saw probably on the last live stream, I was driving all last Wednesday, so been having some wild times out there in the streets. He belongs to the streets. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I'm going to throw the disclaimer up on the screen. And there it is, which states that I am not a doctor and nothing on this channel is medical advice. So if you are struggling with addiction, please seek out your own medical professional, guys. And remember that everything on this channel is for entertainment purposes only. For me to share my experience with you, and for you, baby, for you to share your experience with others. So please do so. We like to hear your guys' updates, and we like to keep up with you guys and see what's going on in your life, right? Remember that a lot of this channel has to do with you guys and what you guys are going through. This is a place where you can safely come here every week and speak about what you're going through in your life and talk to other like-minded people that have been where you are and where you have been too. So please say hello, guys. Please say hello. Who is up in here? Looks like we've got 12 people. Oh, hi. I love you too. Thank you. Is the volume loud enough? I think Izzy just turned it down a little bit. I guess she's going to be my lap dog here. So let's remove the disclaimer, guys. And as you see on the screen, it says, please be sure and share with us your updates, goals, setbacks, etc. We want to support you on your path to freedom. So let us know of your guys' updates and what you're going through. Let's go ahead and get to the comments here. Before we do, let's take a look at the likes. Looks like we've got that baby to 10, so I appreciate you guys smashing that like button. Please do so if you haven't done that yet. I appreciate you. It's good to see that like meter going up again. So, who is up in here? Let's go through the comments. So, I'm trying to remember how I do all this. I'm a little bit rusty. It's kind of weird how fast you can lose your rhythm when you don't do this for a week. It feels like we haven't been on here for a while, but it's only been 2 weeks from today. Also, before we get going, I need to throw up the sponsors of the week. They are the folks who sponsor this YouTube channel, and they will be up there for the entirety of the show, and I will shout them out a little bit later in the stream. So thank you guys. Let's put this puppy down. Ah, you're caught, girl. It's kind of cold in this room. All right, to the comments we go. How do I do this? All right, so KG Smith in the house. What's up, KG? Good to see you, girl. She was the first commenter. I appreciate that. How you doing, KG? Any updates with you and Jeff? I would like to know. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Charles, what's up, Charles? Says, good day. Good to see you in here, Charles. Tara, hey, everyone. That was a good time yesterday on your stream, Tara. Mikey in the house. What's up, Mikey? Good to see you, brother. How you doing, man? Hopefully you're feeling better. Any updates with you, Mikey? Let's see. Where are we at here? Scrolling. Charles. Mikey says, Big Kev. Tara. Charles says, still fighting. So what is it that you're fighting, Charles? What's up? What's going on, brother? Let us know what's up. Hey, Tara, Mikey, and Charles. KG. Tara says, we are warriors, Charles. I've been fighting too. I Okay, I'm new. Yeah, welcome to the club, Charles. Welcome to the club. It's always good to see new people in here. Me too, guys. Have you been doing all right, KG? Ginger in the house. What's up, Ginger? Good to see you. Yo, Kevin and Tara. Let's see here. Glad you're here, Charles. Nice to meet you. Mikey says still going. Sorry, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between the comments. Mikey says still going, chronic, actual pain, going to PT, physical therapy doesn't work. Both in pigment in the neck and right shoulder. Still the rotary cuff is nagging. It's debilitating. So, dang, yeah, it sounds like things are still pretty rough for you there, Mikey. Did your doctor decide what to do for the pain as far as, is he going to put you on Bupe again, or what's he going to do? I know that there's been some confusion as far as if you're going to go with like a Loratab type opiate, or if you're going to use something like Suboxone or Subutex. Matt K, what's up, Matt K? Good to see you in here, buddy. KG says, yo, Izzy, what's up? She gone. Mikey says, the psychiatrist gave me the Subutex PCP I wanted to give. Some Zubsolve crap. I got sick from that Suboxone. The whole 22 sick like a dog, I think is what he meant to say. The whole 22. I'm assuming you mean on the 22nd. Is that what you're talking about? So you're back on Subutex, it sounds like, right? Or Zubsolve, which is basically the same thing. So, Mikey, didn't you say somewhere that you tested negative for Bupe after your 2 shots? I think you said that not too long ago, right? Mikey, I can relate to your pain. I had temporary crown put in by my dentist about 3.5 weeks ago. It's causing some serious pain in my mouth the last few days. Haven't been able to eat anything today. What? Damn, girl. One of my Uber rides I had, I think it was 2 days ago. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. The dude was having oral surgery. He's like, yeah, this is going to be like a 3-hour surgery. I was like, damn, dude, are you scared? I was like, I don't even get a cleaning without being on the gas. I'm such a wuss when it comes to having to sit in that dentist chair. And even with that, guys, I still soak that chair full of sweat. Like, I literally have to have them lay down a blanket before I even sit down because my clothes will be soaked to the bone by the time I just get done with the cleaning. And that's with gas. So imagine without having gas. I'm just like gripping that seat the whole time. Oh, it's so scary. I hate going to the dentist. Freaking hate it. That's why I've been so adamant about staying up on everything with my cleanings and fillings. And I recently went back to check on that, check on one of my fillings because I ate something and it sounded like a crack sound. So just wanted to make sure and get back in there. He said it was okay. Everything was okay still. So yeah, I'm super paranoid with my teeth now after having, in my early 20s, I had a bunch of root canals and tons of fillings. And then I had to go through and have all the silver fillings taken out and put white ones in there because I didn't want the silver stuff in my mouth. So yeah, I've definitely had a long history with dental problems and dating way back to my childhood. What a pain in the butt. Some people are so lucky and they're blessed with like amazing teeth genetics to where they don't ever have a cavity. One of my really good buddies, Jerry, he has never like ever had a cavity and he's my age and he eats junk food every day, drinks soda every day. And I'm like, what are you talking about? No cavities ever? How the hell? What kind of teeth you got, son? Yeah, guys, remember that I'm usually behind in the comments, and that's for a reason, and that's because I don't like the dead air. Some people are really good at just chit-chatting away when there's no comments, but I don't like that feeling. So that's why I intentionally try to stay behind in the comments. So just be patient with me, but I will get to your comment if you post something. So Tara says, I go into the dentist to get my permanent crown this Friday. I can't freaking wait. Oh, so you had a temporary one on, I think. Okay. So yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. Mikey says, my teeth were destroyed too. I feel you as well, Tara. Ginger says, hey guys, is it worth switching from Suboxone to generic bupe, aka Subutex? No, it's not. I heard it was cheaper even through GoodRx. Just okay, so I'm sorry, I jumped on that reply way too fast. I should have read the whole thing. I heard it was cheaper even through GoodRx. Just wondering if anyone else has done this. So yeah, so if I thought that you were meaning to get Subutex without the naloxone in it. I thought that's where you were going with that. So yes, if you go from name brand Suboxone to generic bupe tablets, they're so much cheaper, dude. You can get those things for like $1. It should be like $1 or $2 each for the 8 milligram generic. And that's not Subutex. You can get Subutex, but the generic bupe is literally, it has the same exact ingredients that Suboxone has in it, the same exact doses. It's just a generic tablet form. One thing to note or think about if you are switching from the Suboxone films to a tablet is it has been said to, by an article that I read, that you might get a little bit lower levels in your blood. I've never noticed that switching back and forth. But FMD recently told me that he thinks that the Suboxone tablets are way stronger. So it's mixed bag. And for me, I could never tell. And the reason that they said that in the article was that the film absorbs way faster than the tablet. So I honestly, like I said, I've never noticed a difference, but yes, you will save yourself a ton of money. If you are paying a lot of money for Suboxone in 2023, then you should definitely look into getting the generic because Suboxone should be dirt ass cheap to get on in 2023. It used to be expensive when there was no generic, but now it's real cheap, guys. And that's with no insurance. I think the last Suboxone script I got, I think it was like $30 or $40 for a whole month. So if you're on a lower dose too, it should be much cheaper than that even. So I think I've heard some people say they can get their prescription for like 10 or $20. So yeah, definitely look into the generic stuff for sure. Mikey says, Ginger, I like Subutex or Suboxone any day of the week. Or over Suboxone. Sound is good, Kev. Charles says, I think I told you. Wow, I'm kind of getting far behind the comments. I think I told you I'm the one that has quadriplegia. I don't have full use of my legs or arms. Doctors put me on subs for severe pain and spasms. Hey pup, but tired of using subs. I tapered down. I don't know if I've heard that, Charles. I think you might be thinking about somebody else. I don't think I've heard you say that on here before. That doesn't sound familiar to me. So, if you're tapering down, are you still having pains? Are you still having a lot of pain, or what's the plan to do with the pain if you get off Suboxone? That's always something that I think about for those of you who struggle with chronic pain is what's the plan for the pain when you come off, right? Mikey, but since naloxone is technically inactive in your stomach, taking it sublingually should be identical, right? Yes, that's correct, Ginger. But for some reason, Mikey has a worse experience with one or the other, but most people should not even be able to tell a difference. Maybe Mikey is somehow allergic to it somehow. It could be something like that. I really don't know, but I've never heard anybody really be able to feel much difference when switching between any of them. Thanks, Kevin. It was great to see you in the stream. I had a great time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Something I wanted to talk about real quick, Tara. So I kind of had the vibe like maybe you or others thought that I was like taking a dig at the quality of your show was low. I was just saying that it was kind of blurry. I'm sure if you've watched it on the replay, unless it was my connection, because usually when you do your videos, it's really good quality, and it just wasn't up to like the normal quality that you do. So that's really all I meant. I loved being on there, and it was an awesome time, but I just didn't think that you knew what I was seeing. So I just want to make sure that I wasn't like, this quality sucks ass. It was definitely a good time, and I know that you're doing the best you can with what you have, and that's really all that matters. Mikey says, sorry for running with the sentence. You're good, Mikey. You're good, buddy. Sometimes I have to kind of try to fill in the blanks with things that you're saying, Mikey, so it's all good. I think I'm doing a pretty good job with reading what you're trying to say, brother. KG says, I feel like I'm finally stable on the 20 microgram patch. Hasn't had another episode of withdrawal about 10 days ago. Jeff is waking up with sweats on on 30 milligrams of Norco, so he's staying with the dose for a while. What the hell? Yeah, he should have definitely been, I would definitely have thought that he would have been totally past any sort of withdrawal from that by now. That's incredible that he's still doing that. Has he been staying on that 30 milligram dose this whole time, KG? That blows my mind that he's still getting cold sweats in his sleep, or sweats in his sleep. That's so interesting, because I remember when I was on painkillers and I was coming off of them, I had the night sweat thing, but when I come off of Suboxone, I never had that. So it's just very, very weird to me how different that was. And also when I came off of painkillers many times before I even knew what withdrawal was, I'd never had the restless leg back in the day, but it's probably because I was in my 20s when I was coming off, and y'all know how it is. When you're younger, the withdrawal symptoms aren't as bad as they are when you're older and been on something for a long amount of time. There were many times that I did a cold turkey withdrawal without even knowing what withdrawal was, and I was at work the next day. Granted, I was going to the bathroom every 30 minutes, and I had no idea why. But I remember thinking one day, I was like, dang, I should just stay on the Loratab. It really helps me not have to go to the bathroom all day. That is so funny thinking back on that. I remember, guys, I went to the doctor, and I was like, I wonder if you could maybe give me a few Loratab, because for some reason that just helps me not have to go to the bathroom all day. This is literally before I knew that going into withdrawal from my painkillers was making me have loose stools all day. I had no idea that's what was going on. Thank God I was at a government job that I could run to the bathroom and nobody would see me going in and out of the bathroom all day. I mean, if it was something where people would notice that I was gone all day long, that would have been extremely hard to deal with. Let's see here. KG says, alcohol, also craving alcohol. I haven't drank in 20 years. Wow. So you're craving alcohol now, KG, huh? Have you been drinking or no? Yeah, that's so interesting. So it's been a while since you've taken any oral doses, right, KG? KG said, it's not affecting me. Jeff drinks with me too. Just worried I won't be able to stop, like with the Norco. Yeah, I feel you, girl. So how often have you been drinking, KG? Dang, Kevin, you need gas for a cleaning? Yeah, I do. I'm that freaking wimpy in the chair, guys. So wimpy. And I tell them to crank that shit. This is literally what I say every time. I say, and I'm joking, obviously, when I say it, but I'm kind of serious. So I say, I have a really high tolerance to that stuff, so crank it to the amount that would kill me and then back it off just a little bit. It's like a joke every time I get in the dentist chair. I'm like, you need that thing to be high, because I have a high tolerance because I use it every time I go in. And plus, if I'm going to pay them, what is it, $50 you got to pay to get on the gas? If I'm paying that, then I don't want to be feeling no pain. All right. Kimmy, what's up, girl? Good to see you. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Kim. I'll be in and out. Still feeling off about last night's stream, and my friend was what? What the hell happened last night, Kimmy? Feeling off about last night's stream. What happened over there last night? Your friend was shot. What in the hell, Kimmy? That all sounded real crazy, girl. We need some more info, please. Who's your friend that was shot, and are they okay? Are they still alive? Where were they? Like, is it New York or what? New York? Damn, Kimmy, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm really curious. What happened in Kimmy's stream, guys? What happened over there? Yeah, oh my God, Kim, what happened? Are you okay? I'm not sure if they're okay, but they're alive. Well, that's good. Damn. Ginger says, I have been taking the generic Suboxone tablets, 8 milligrams, $120 for 45 of them via GoodRx. Dude, that sounds, well, no, that sounds about right. Yeah, somewhere around $1 or $2 a tablet is what I remember them being. So, I mean, if you're getting 45, 45, that's a lot, dude. How long is that lasting you, Ginger? Yeah, $120. I don't know. Like, you might be able to find it cheaper. But if you're already on the generic tablets, then that's probably as cheap as it's going to get. I remember it was somewhere around $1.50 or $2 per tablet, which is very cheap in my opinion. Can't even buy a hamburger for that. Kevin, I had some trolls / bots spamming the stream, and banning and timing them out wasn't working. What? Oh, hell no. Yeah, that's wild. What the hell? Yeah, hopefully that doesn't ever happen. I hate when crap like that happens. Has there been any trolls that you guys have had to deal with on this channel at all? I don't think I've seen anything like that for a minute. Knocking on wood over here. I don't want to curse it. I've been dealing with cravings too. Sucky. I talked to my nurse, practitioner, and therapist about it, and I have a plan now. I feel relieved that I was able to ask for help. Yeah, I love that about you, Tara. You're always in touch with the right people, it seems like. Seems like you've got a good team that you can reach out to when you need to. KG, can you drink in moderation? I thought you said before you drank some weekends without issue. I can't handle the gas. I just take 2 Valiums, and I rather for them to inject the lidocaine shot because I used the lidocaine ointment for pain. Oh, I see. You're talking about the dentist. So yeah, I have them use the shot, whatever it is they put in there. I have them do that too anytime they're going to do any work, obviously. But even still, even with that damn shot, I still need the gas. But I was talking about the generic Bupe Subutex, since we all know the naloxone Suboxone is all bullshit anyway and doesn't do anything. Yeah, I mean, if it's cheaper, I would just say go with whatever's cheapest, Ginger. I would definitely, just go with the cheapest option is the way I would go for it. I really don't think most people are going to notice much of a difference. Yes, Kim, but it's like every day I'm not working, like 3 or 4 beers. Am I replacing one thing for another? That's good that you notice that, KG, right? That is something that I've talked about on this channel before, and I'll bring it up right now. That I have noticed that there have been a lot of people who have gotten off of Suboxone successfully, but then they transferred to kratom or alcohol or both, right? And I don't know about you guys. It might be different for you and what you guys think, but honestly, for me, if I had to choose out of those things, I would just stay on a low dose of Suboxone versus switching for an alcohol addiction or a kratom addiction. That's just my personal experience, and that's my outlook on it. But it's very interesting why it makes me wonder, like, why people start to have cravings for alcohol when they get off of Suboxone. Like Matt started drinking a lot once he got off of Suboxone, and he got into some trouble with the law from drinking, right? So on more than one occasion, I believe. And so to me, it's like I would rather have just stayed on Suboxone. If I knew it was like, if I had to just have something to get me through my day, and I'm not saying anybody does have to have something. Ideally, of course, in a perfect world, we would just get off of Suboxone and life would be glorious, right? But that's not always how it ends up going and shaking out. I've seen Reed. You guys remember Reed? He used to make videos. He got off Suboxone and he got into drinking pretty heavily. He's talked about it on his channel. Who else, guys? I know that this is a common thing, so it's something to think about, something to beware about, and something for you guys who are wanting to get off of Suboxone to look and just take note of. If you notice yourself starting to drink more and you think that, you know, you might be headed towards a toxic path with the alcohol, then, you know, you got to do what you got to do really at that point. Make some decisions, right? I appreciate you being open about that, KG. How does it make you feel? Like the next, do you get hungover from those beers, or is it just like not a big deal? Tara, I think about you often. Didn't know what you were going through until now. Just a quick side note. Has anybody seen an obituary for Luke yet? I haven't been searching, but I've been still thinking and wondering about if anybody has made one for him. If anybody knows where that is, please let me know. Only you can answer that, KG, but if you're worried it's a problem, it probably is. KG says, I agree. Is the volume loud enough, guys? I kind of feel like I'm mumbling or something. Let me know if I need to change anything with the sound, guys. I appreciate y'all. This is probably a pretty good time for me to go ahead and thank the sponsors of the week. As you guys see them scrolling across the bottom of the screen, they're actually a sponsor from 2 weeks ago because we didn't stream last week. So shout out to the sponsors of the week. KG Smith and Kimmy B, as always, were the sponsors of the show. They both hooked it up with a good man's $40 donation to the Cash App. So I appreciate you ladies as always. Remember, guys, that your donations are what make it possible for this channel to grow, and this live stream will never be monetized. YouTube will never pay me a penny for this live stream. So if you guys are in the position and you enjoy this show, I will put a link up on the screen. And the link says, if you value this channel and you would like to show your support, you can do so at the Venmo or the Cash App links on the screen now, baby. 22 people in here. Let's check the likes, guys. We're only at 13 likes. That can't be right. I need to refresh that. Let's go ahead and refresh that. We got to be over 20 by now. Come on, baby. I was wrong. We're at 13. Oh, somebody just smashed the like. We're at 14 likes, guys. Please, please, please smash that like button, guys, if you haven't yet done so. We've got 22 people in here hanging out. There we go. There we go. 15. Thank y'all for smashing that. Let's get that puppy over 20 real quick if we could. I would appreciate y'all. It will let other people know we're in here. And look, we see more people coming in now. Yep, there you go. 16. We got 17. Look, every like we hit, we had another person come in here. Bam. The likes are important, guys. The likes are important. And shout out to Mikey. What's up, Mikey? With a $5 super chat, baby. He says, why is there so much success stories of people getting 1 to 2 shots and feeling no withdrawals? So where are you seeing that? I'm assuming you're talking about on Reddit, Mikey. Is that right? That I know that's like a thing on the Reddit forums. I'm going to go ahead and post his comment. Let's see. 3:30. Give me a second. I'm going to post his comment up on the screen. 3:30. I'll get back to the comments in just a minute, guys. Shout out to you, Mikey, for being the first sponsor of today's live stream, baby. Ooh, baby. There it is. We're going to leave that up on the screen for a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I know you've got to be talking about on Reddit, I'm assuming. Something to keep in mind with that is, you know, even with just 1 or 2 shots, it's likely going to be that you have bupe in your blood for at least 6 months, right? So I would just basically chalk it up to the fact that it's because it's such a long half-life. Remember, guys, that the half-life of Sublocade is 45 to 60 days, right? And that's why you don't feel it kick in every day, because it's a very slow 24/7. You're getting fed just a little bit of bupe around the clock, which is why it keeps you out of withdrawal and it keeps you feeling normal and stable. When you take the oral doses, you get the spike. It kicks in full power within about an hour and a half for most people, and then it falls off by the end of the day, right? So that's why it's such a different experience going from the oral bupe, Suboxone, Subutex, Zubsolv, etc. Those all kick in and peak within an hour and a half and then fall off by the end of the day, right? And the Sublocade shot, it does nothing like that. And that's why I tell everybody who's considering taking the Sublocade shot, you have to be ready to give that filling up that you get from your daily Suboxone, because you won't feel that ever again. You might feel it on your first day or two. After that, and your body starts to get used to the steady stream, you're never going to feel that feeling again. So you have to be ready to give up whatever it is that you feel from your Suboxone. If you don't feel anything from your Suboxone, then that's great. You won't notice a difference then. You'll be good to go. So yeah, just wanted to talk about that. Does that answer your question, Mikey? There are people that I've talked to. Somebody tried going way off label and he used only, 25 milligrams of one shot for his one and only shot. He was trying to do the one and done, and he hit withdrawal about 2.5 months later. It really hit him hard. So I typically don't recommend that people try to just take one shot, because it's in a lot of cases, it's not very realistic. That being said, there are people who have done it successfully. So I would just say chances are that you likely will run into some withdrawal at some point, right? So let's go ahead and fire up the sponsor bomb for Mikey as well. I forgot to do that. I appreciate the sponsorship, brother. Dropping bombs, baby. Mikey dropping a $5 super chat. And it looks like we had another super chat just pop up from Scott Pound 411. Says, can we quit Sublocade with low withdrawals? Wow, lots of Sublocade comments coming in here today. Let me throw that up on the screen and fire up the jets for Scott. I appreciate the sponsorship, my friend. Let's get that baby going here. Boom. So shout out to you, Scott. I appreciate that $2 super chat, baby. It's interesting to see super chats. We haven't seen those for a while. So, I mean, that honestly, Scott, it's really impossible for anybody to say if you're going to have quote unquote low withdrawals. However, that being said, I have a lot of experience with Sublocade. I have a lot of experience with Suboxone. I have a lot of experience with opiates for many, many years. I have a lot of experience talking with many people who have gone through what you're talking about, right? And it is true, in my opinion, that if there was something that you could take to have low withdrawals, it would be Sublocade, for sure. Like I said, it's impossible for me to say if anybody is going to have no withdrawals at all. Like, that's kind of the mindset I had when I first got into taking Sublocade. But after how do I say this, guys? Like I had Dr. Ken Starr on. He said, quote unquote, there is no withdrawal, and if there is, he hasn't seen it. So when I had him on the show and he said that, I was like, holy shit, this is definitely, this is the way out right here, right? So that's coming from somebody who prescribes and injects Sublocade in people on a normal basis, who said that, right? So that gave me a huge confidence boost. But then after we started talking about it more people started getting it, and more people started stopping to get it. Some people were having issues, right? It seemed like the shorter amount of shots you had, the higher chance that you could have some withdrawals. And when I say that, I don't mean like a full-blown Suboxone withdrawal, right? Because it takes many months for the withdrawal to even start, if there was a withdrawal. But the one thing that you can likely count on when coming off of Sublocade is you'll likely have to deal with some insomnia at some point, right? I would think that that's probably best case scenario. You'll at least have to deal with some insomnia at some point. That's, you know, there have been people that have taken a bunch of shots, big shots, and they have a ton of shots built up in their system. And I think maybe those people would likely come off with maybe no withdrawals, maybe a year down the line. But remember, the more shots you get, the longer it's going to take to wear out of your system, right? So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for a moment. I appreciate y'all with the super chats. You guys are great. Let's get back to the comments, guys. There's 25 people in here. Got a good crowd in here today. Only 16 likes on the video. Let's get that baby to 20 real quick, and we'll get some more people flowing in here. So if you haven't smashed the like button, please do so now. Callie Love, what up, girl? Good to see you in here. I'm going to get back to where I was in the comments section. Where was I? 3:30. I'm going to try to get, guys, I'm now almost 30 minutes behind. Oh, shit. We got another super chat? What? Let's go. Let's get that, baby. I'm going to pull that up. I'll hit on the super chats as soon as they pop up, guys. So, you know what time it is. It's time for another sponsor bomb. Mikey come through once again. Dropping bombs, baby. So Mikey says, I have been crushing it on TRT and hitting the gym because of you. Made a huge difference. I tapered down to 6 milligrams. So I'm pumped to get the shot and move on. Dude, I love that. I love that, man. Yes, yes, yes. That is awesome. How old are you, Mikey? That is awesome. I'm really glad to hear that things are going well for you. Yeah, once you get onto the shot, hopefully your insurance is covering it, right? I don't want any of you watching this to ever go cash pay for Sublocade. It's way too expensive. If you have good insurance, or if you're on state insurance, if you're not working or something, it would likely be very cheap, if not free for you. And those are definitely the people who I think Sublocade is a good choice for. Like I said, I don't think it's worth paying $2,000 a month for somebody to cash pay. That's a ripoff in my opinion. So it would be nice for you to get out of the daily mindset of having to think about taking your Suboxone and thinking about tapering. So yeah, if you've tapered yourself down to 6 milligrams, it sounds like you're going to transition over to Sublocade soon. So you will definitely enjoy that newfound freedom of switching over to Sublocade and not having to think about your dose and tapering and all that crap. So it makes me really happy to hear, Mikey. Thanks for the update on that. And let us know when you switch to Sublocade how that works out for you. What dose are you going to start you off on? If you're at 6 milligrams of Suboxone, what dose of Sublocade are they going to start you on? Are you going to go down to the 100 or the 300? You're kind of right there in that could go either way dose, right? I appreciate y'all showing love with the super chat, baby. So back to the comments where I was at. This is now, I'm a half an hour behind in the comments, guys. I'm going to do my best to scroll through these as fast as I can. I'd like to get caught up with you guys in the live stream near the end of the show. Scott says I'm on 8 milligrams of Suboxone now. So how are you feeling at that dose, Scott? Brandon's recovery. What's up, brother? Good to see you. So Tara says, laugh out loud, my stream was super blurry. I knew it would be that way, but did it anyways. My signal is ridiculously weak. It takes me so long to upload videos. I need to up my game for sure. Hashtag goals. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I was just letting you know what I was seeing. I hope nobody took it as I was like talking shit, because you know that ain't how I do things. Scott says, is it common to be able to quit everything using Sublocade, like without pain? I don't want to be on anything anymore. I'm scared I will get hooked on Sublocade. No, I don't see why anybody would get emotionally hooked on Sublocade, because you don't ever feel it, right? So that's another good thing about Sublocade, is it's not addicting. It can't be misused. It can't be abused. You can't run out of it early. So many positives when it comes to Sublocade. The only major negative is that it takes a good 6 to 12 months for it to fully wear out of your system. And also it's very expensive unless you have the right insurance. But as far as like getting to the point of where, oh, I can't wait to get my next Sublocade shot, I'm going to feel so high. It's nothing like that. I promise you. It's definitely, there's no recreational using Sublocade. And that's what's so good about it, in my opinion. My sub dealer texted me a few minutes ago, although he does seem to have a great work ethic. I'm so happy to not have to reply anymore. It's been months now. Woo woo, dude, that's awesome, Matt. That's really good. Really good to hear that, brother. Maybe it's a good idea to block his number, Matt, so you don't have to ever think about, that little devil popping in on your shoulder when he hits you up next time. I drink in moderation as well, but it was never my drug of choice. If it's affecting your life in a negative way, you're probably fine, Ginger says. So as you guys, I guess you can't see the timestamps on there. As you guys can see, I'm about a half an hour behind the comments. But like I said, if a super chat comes up, then I'll definitely be able to read that instantly, because it pops right up on my screen. It's not affecting me. Jeff drinks with me too. Just worried I won't be able to stop, like with the Norco. Oh, I already read that earlier. Sorry about that, guys. So KG says she's drinking 3 nights a week, Kev. So yeah, it seems like that's definitely becoming a little bit of a habit there, KG. So it's good that you're noticing that, right? And not just kind of letting it pass by and you're just like, whatever. She's got the little alarm bell starting to go off, it sounds like. Matt says, Scott, I guess Suboxone. I was taking the strips. I was on subs for like 12 years-ish. So Matt says, I quit Suboxone. I was taking the strips. I've been taking subs for like 12 years-ish. Ginger says, Kevin, I'm prescribed 12 milligrams a day, so the 45 lasts a month. Okay, cool. So yeah, I understand. It seems like you're just wanting to kind of get your costs down however possible. So yeah, if there's an option, a way to get to your bupe cheaper, then definitely do it. Drinking my chocolate milk egg white shake here, guys. For you muscleheads out there, you can get the liquid egg whites and fill half of it full with the egg whites, the other half of it full with whatever milk you drink, and then get some chocolate sugar-free mix, whatever that stuff is, and dump it in there, shake it up, and it tastes just like chocolate milk. And you got your protein, baby. I drink a lot of egg whites. For me, it's a lot better than doing the protein shakes, because the protein shakes mess my guts up, and I know that it's a bunch of processed stuff as well. So I'll rather do the egg whites. Scott says, I'm on Suboxone pills for 14 years, but I want to quit. I don't want to get hooked on anything else though, so I'm wondering if I can quit using Sublocade with only low withdrawals. I would say ideally you'd maybe get somewhere around 6 shots, you know, but it's going to be different for everybody. Some people might be ready to move on from their Sublocade journey after 3 months. They might feel like they're ready to let that go, right? Some people want to stay on Sublocade forever, and that's okay too, right? Especially if their insurance is willing to pay for that. Jerry, what's up, Jerry? Good to see you, buddy. Wow, $120 for regular opiate drugs like Nucynta. My insurance wouldn't cover it. For 60 is $600. I said, hell no. Yeah, damn. That's expensive as heck. 600? Woo. Falcons Cloud, my wife and I have found your channel a lifesaver. Awesome. Welcome to the channel. Good to see some new people up in here. I appreciate you guys finding us and dropping a comment. What are you guys going through, Falcons? You guys on Suboxone or painkillers or what? Always good to see some new folks up in here. Ginger says, I swapped my heroin / Coca-Cola addiction to sports betting. Oh yeah, be careful with the sports betting, guys. I've been there. I was like, seriously, like a Coca-Cola head up in the middle of the night. My girlfriend was sleeping 2 feet away from me, and I was like hitting the freaking roulette button on my computer, losing my butt off. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. I'm sure others can relate to that. Yes, I lost a lot of money in gambling over the years. I will not gamble ever again. That shit is rigged. Kevin knows about the Sublocade. I was taking 8 milligrams a day for the last 6 years before I was higher. I cut it to 4 milligrams for 1 year and then did a 45-day taper. Mikey says, wow, I never knew people drink after Suboxone. I had a craving for whiskey for ease of pain, but I said I can't and I won't do it. Sound is good. Mikey says, I've had 2 300 shots and a 150. I'm due for my next one, but will I not be sick for a while? I'm trying to get off, but just started a new job. So that's a great comment. So I didn't know you had already started Sublocade, Mikey. So yeah. So if you're kind of feeling like maybe you're ready to move on, what I would suggest is have your doctor order your next shot and just tell him, I'm going to push myself on this one, see how far I can go. You know what I mean? And many people can go, 2, 3, 4 months without having any problems at all. And then if you start to feel sick, if you start to feel like you would benefit from another shot, your doctor will already have it ordered and ready to go. And you just go in for a 5-minute shot and then you're good to go for another 2, 3, 4 months. You know what I mean? So if you've got those 300 shots in you, just the 300 shots alone will last you many, many months, right? So this stuff will start to build up in your system. And that's why they recommend you lower your dose from the 300 down to the 100 by your third shot, because those 300s are still in you and still providing you a decent amount. Remember, guys, it takes 60 days for each shot to get down to half power, right? So if you took a 300 milligram shot 60 days ago, today you still have about 150 milligrams in you. So that's why it takes so long for the medication to fully wear out of your system. I wonder if I have a YouTube addiction. Can't be the worst thing, right? I'm pretty sure probably most of us watching this channel right now have an addiction to YouTube, for sure. And if it's not YouTube, it's probably social media, Facebook, or whatever the other ones are. Instagram, right? Volume is good. Could be even a smidge louder, but it's good. All right, turn that up just a little bit more. No hangover at all, Kev. I'm wondering if the patch keeps that from happening. When I used to drink before, the hangover would stop me from drinking for months. Yeah, that you could be onto something there, KG, with that. It could definitely be something like that. What's up, Justin? Good to see you, brother. Can't be sick right now because I just started another job. Will that hold me because I'm due for my next one tomorrow? Yeah, you'll be good, dude. You definitely won't. So, guys, keep in mind that just because they prescribe you to take your Sublocade shot once a month, it's not even close to running out at that point, right? And so I know that a lot of people can think, oh no, it's going to run out at the 30-day mark, but at this point you've got 750 milligrams in your body. It's not all still there, obviously, because it's been in there for a while, but you still, trust me, you still be good for quite a while at this point. Don't let the little devil on your shoulder make a problem when there's not really a problem there. I promise you, you're not going to just kick into withdrawal out of nowhere. It will be, if you're going to have issues, it's going to be a very slow, it's not just going to kick in one night full blast at this point. It would be a very slow, you're starting to feel off, you're starting to feel grumpy. Your sleep will start getting a little bit worse and worse, just slowly over time. It's a very slow process type of thing, right? It's not just going to like freak you out. You're not going to be able to work tomorrow because you're in full-blown withdrawal. It's not like it is if you quit your Suboxone. That's when that stuff happens. And that's when all hell breaks loose, is when you stop the oral stuff without tapering. I'm trying to find out similar things. I'm about to work with a doctor, but I'm not going to start if it's unrealistic to get off. So yeah, in my opinion, it's the best way with the tools that we all have available. It's definitely the best way to minimize any potential withdrawal. Either that, or if it doesn't sound like that can work out for you, then just plan on a long, slow taper with Suboxone, right? Some people can do a rush taper. I just don't really recommend that, because for most people, that's unrealistic to do that. And most people, it will blow up in their face, and then they'll go backwards with their taper. But if you can do, 6-12 month taper, then you can probably have success if you're really headstrong. YouTube, Reddit, comments, and other YouTube channels, etc. Okay, gotcha, Mikey. Justin says the peach is now a banana. The baby's growing, huh? The baby is growing. I'm a month behind Kev. I got 300, 300, 100, and you have your moments when you think you may be sick, but it goes away fast. Just don't think about it. You'll be fine. That's great information right there, Jerry. My doctor isn't educated, so she's making me feel like I'm going to be sick because I haven't gotten my 4th shot. No, don't let that happen, brother. And I believe that's what it comes down to in that situation. So that's a great comment that Mikey just put up on the screen, guys. And I'm going to dive into that comment more. But first, we just had a super sponsor bomb come through the Cash App. Shout out to you, KG Smith, baby. She firing up the super sponsor bomb over here. So let's fire up the jets for KG Smith. It's going to be loud. Dropping a big ass bomb, KG Smith. Turn that volume back down. KG Smith says, thank you for your words of encouragement. So shout out to you, KG Smith. I appreciate you sponsoring today's live stream with that amazing donation to the channel. You are a badass. Thank you for that sponsor bomb. And thank you for continuing to share what you're going through with your recovery, KG. Shout out to you, girl. She's always, as you guys see, is her name across the bottom of the screen. Her and Kimmy B are always the sponsors of the week, guys. Y'all know this by now. So shout out to you, girl. I appreciate that. So back to Mikey's comment here. So yeah, guys, there's a lot of doctors that don't really know a lot about Sublocade. For some doctors out there, even that prescribe Suboxone, they've never even given their first Sublocade shot. I believe Dr. Chris Park is in that same boat. I don't think he's given Sublocade shot yet. I could be wrong at this point, but I mean, I talked to him not long ago, and he said he still hasn't. I don't think he's given a shot yet. So and he deals with Suboxone patients all the time, right? So yeah, there's some doctors out there that might not understand. I would think that a doctor would understand the half-life of medications, but maybe they haven't researched things. Maybe, if they haven't had experience with the medication, then they're not going to really understand how that works, right? Because you can look it up yourself. The half-life of the medication is 45 to 60 days before half of it is gone. So yeah, you're definitely, I promise you, Mikey, don't let somebody scare you into thinking that you're just going to smash right into withdrawals because you didn't show up the day that you were supposed to get your shot. That's definitely not going to happen. Because when I was tapering my shots, when I was, nobody had talked about this before, and I've made videos about this in the past, right? Nobody did what I did. And I was like, well, okay, so I got my first shots on time, right? I went 30 days, got the next shot, went 30 days, got the next shot. And then I was like, well, let's see what happens. Let me push it out an extra week this time. And some of you guys might want to try this if your doctor will let you. Some doctors won't let you do this. So I went 5 weeks after my second shot. Then I added another week, and I went 6 weeks after my third or fourth shot. Then I went 7 weeks, and I kept spacing it out an extra week between every shot. And I was also lowering my dose that I was taking too. So I was tapering by spacing out the time, and I was also tapering by lowering the dose, right? You can kind of do it either way, but I did both. And I never had any problems the whole time I did that, right? So maybe you can skip an extra 2 weeks and then maybe go in for your third or fourth shot then, Mikey. And or just have them have a shot on standby. Tell them you'll call them when you're ready for it. It shouldn't be something, in my opinion, that's forced. You have to come in every 30 days. I don't really like when some doctors do that, but every doctor is going to have their own set of rules. And so it might be wise of you to have that conversation with your doctor before you even start Sublocade. See what they're open to doing. Are they open to adjusting your dose, your starting dose? Are they open to letting you taper by lowering the dose or spacing it out? These are definitely questions you want to talk to your doctor about. 23 people up in here, guys. I appreciate y'all. We have 21 likes on the video. If you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please do so now. I would appreciate you. Good to see so many people in here after missing last week's Wednesday live stream. Man, guys, I've been having some crazy stuff happen in my Uber trips. I think I'm actually going to start making some videos talking about, and I actually might start posting videos from dash cam footage in my car of some of these crazy things that happen. I need to check the legality of that before I do that, but it's going to be on my car channel, guys. So if you haven't yet subscribed to that, the link to that channel is in the description box. Maybe one of my moderators can post a link to it. It's called Badass 1G, BADASS, the number 1, or the letter 1, or the number 1, then G, just G. And I'm going to start talking, it's my car channel. I talk about DIY, motorcycle stuff, car stuff, racing stuff, just random stuff, right? So keep in mind, if you guys ever do migrate to that channel, that I don't ever talk about anything to do with addiction. I will never respond to any comments about addiction over there. So if you ever do post a comment on that channel, just keep it about whatever's going on in that video if you guys could. But yeah, I'm going to start making videos about Uber experiences. I had three different ladies crying in my back seat Monday night. Was that Monday? I think it was Monday. 3 guys, and I'd been doing Uber off and on this whole year. I've done over 800 rides, and I've never had anybody crying in my back seat. But for whatever reason, and of course it was a full moon, I had 3 different women crying on 3 different rides in my back seat in the same night. The first one, she said that man, so I pick her up at the bar, right? And she's like an older lady. She's probably, if I had to guess, I don't know, maybe 55. And I'm picking her up from a bar and she's really drunk, right? She starts crying. She's like, I almost just did crack 5 minutes ago. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, all my friends died from drugs and all their kids are dead from drugs. So she's just going off. And I was just like, damn, this is crazy. And the next person got in, started crying. She's like this 18-year-old, 19-year-old girl. She starts crying. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, my boyfriend just cheated on me. I waited for him to get out of jail. And as soon as he got out of jail, he cheated on me. I'm like, I honestly think you can do better. If he just got out of jail. You could probably find somebody better. I said, she's like, I just got out. I tried to commit suicide yesterday. I'm like, they don't pay me enough for this. I'm telling you right now. This isn't counsel and ride. This is just ride share. And then the third one, what was it? Oh, she got bit by a dog. This lady got bit by a dog. She was a groomer and she got bit by a dog. She started crying. So that all happened within about 2 hours. I had 3 different rides. Freaking crazy stuff, guys. Like the things that happen when you're doing Uber, you never know what the hell you're going to get. Every day is totally different. You have some really good conversations with people. I've met a lot of really cool people. So it's very interesting to be Uber or Lyft driver. But yeah, if you're interested in hearing anything like that, or if you're just bored and you want to see my life outside of addiction, go check out my other channel. Kimmy, shout out to you. Kimmy posted a link to that channel right there in the comments. It's just simply Badass 1G. There's a lot of old racing videos of me racing at the track. I used to build race cars. I used to run a car dealership. There's videos of that there on the channel. So a whole bunch of random ass videos. It's just mostly related to car and motorcycle, but probably start talking about Uber on that channel. So keep an eye open for that. If you guys are bored, back to the comments we go. And I'm way behind, guys. My apologies on that. So Tara says, my worst nightmare, I had so many close calls with DUIs that I'm embarrassed about it. Alcohol is no good for me. Yeah, you've been really lucky, Tara. I've heard you talk about that before. And I've been the same way. There's been many times that I was driving while intoxicated with alcohol and back in my painkiller days that I was like slumping over as I was driving. I'm lucky I didn't kill nobody or myself. Had a lot of close calls. Mikey says, but still after the Sublocade shot is out of my system, I don't have any cravings like any opiates. Tons of Mickeys, haha, today. So what's Mickey's? What is, oh, Mikey's? Is that what you're saying? Callie Love says, hope all is well. Happy holidays. Good to see you in here, Callie. How you doing, girl? How you doing? I'm so happy I don't care to drink anymore, even as if I'm off subs for a minute now. Had a few DUIs and now need to get the breathalyzer put in the car. I'm just over alcohol. Yeah, dude, that would suck. Let's see here. KG says, those women lucked out getting in your car, Kevin. Sometimes I feel like, damn, I'm just what this person needed today, right? Like I always try to, I mean, even if it's not something with somebody crying, like I always try to make sure that when they get out of my car, they're in a good mood. So I'm a very, like I can read the room very easily. There's sometimes people you can tell they don't want to talk about anything and I won't say anything. But if there's somebody who could feed off my positive energy, then I'll definitely give that out to them and try to, make sure that tell them have a great day when they're getting out or whatever it is. Just acting like you care about people. It goes a long way because for a lot of people, they just get in an Uber and it's just a quick, 5-10 minute ride to work. They don't give a shit about that. But if you can get out of the car and have a smile on your face, why not make someone's day better, right? Let's see here. So far behind the comments, guys. Sorry about that. I will get caught up to y'all. Just be patient with me. Scott says, I quit Norco cold turkey. I can deal with no sleep. There you go. There you go. Sniffles, only maybe a loss of an hour or two sleep. So Mikey says yes, insurance is covering it. So yeah, that's a big factor for many people who consider getting on Sublocade. Like I've said many times, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, guys. I do not recommend anybody get on Sublocade unless your insurance will pay for at least most of it. Way too expensive to cash pay. Way too expensive. Unless you're a millionaire. Casey, what up, Casey? Good to see you. Hey, everyone. Update. I got really sick. I was admitted to the hospital. Ended up detoxing off of alcohol. Alcohol-free since the 18th. Damn, girl. You go. Shit, that's 11 days. Congratulations on 11 days. You might be struggling right now, Casey, like emotionally. And that's to be expected when detoxing from something like alcohol or opiates, right, guys? It usually takes a good 30 days before your brain really starts to start firing much better, right? So you really want to, if you're jumping off of alcohol or Suboxone, the first month can be really challenging. And just know that after the first month, your brain things should start getting much better for you guys. So if you're 2 or 3 weeks into a Suboxone withdrawal or an alcohol withdrawal and you're really struggling, just know that should go away sometime soon. Just keep going, baby. Mikey says, in support, I did 2. So yeah, Mikey used insupport.com. That's basically a Sublocade assistance type of thing that will work with some insurances. So you guys might look into that. If your insurance tells you that you have $500 a month that you need to pay for the Sublocade shot, you would go to insupport.com and do their little questionnaire thing, find out if they will cover the rest of it. In many cases, that's a yes, they will do. And that's how it was for Mikey. Thank you, Kevin, for helping me. Absolutely, Mikey. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you and everything you do for this channel as well, Mikey. You're a big-time sponsor of this channel, and also you always bring your information to this channel as well. So shout out to you, Mikey. Didn't your Bears just win the other day? It looks like your Bears have been turning around a little bit. My poor Seahawks are going to get beat down once again. Another Thursday night embarrassment coming up tomorrow. I'm sure the Cowboys are going to walk all over us because my Seahawks are phonies this year, unfortunately. Really sucks to see. Definitely doable. You'll be fine. Just keep busy. Keeping busy is a big part of this stuff for sure. I'm going to just try and fight it. I feel so guilty being on subs. I'm 65 and I feel I should really not be on subs. Brings on such anxiety. I think about the withdrawals even tapering down. So yeah. There are some people like Charles who feel guilty for being on Suboxone for whatever reason. You know, there's really no rhyme or reason as to why somebody feels guilty, that one person feels guilty about it and when the next person doesn't. Hopefully, Charles, you have many years of sobriety and being out of active addiction, and hopefully that's the position you're in before trying to get off of Suboxone, because there's some people who try getting off of Suboxone when they've only been on it for, 3 or 6 months and they just relapsed last week. It's like your recovery isn't stable enough to get off of Suboxone. Why would you do that? Especially if it's fentanyl that you're going to go back to, right? That's a very risky game. So hopefully anybody watching this thinking about getting off of Bupe or Suboxone or Sublocade, hopefully anybody in that position has a good amount of recovery equity and you have a good amount of clean time, and you're not constantly thinking about going and getting some drugs, right? Hopefully if you're trying to come off this stuff, you have that life put behind you for the most part. Obviously, there's going to be life that happens that's going to be stressful, that might tempt you someday, but it's not something that you're thinking about while you're still on Suboxone. You're not craving all the time or something like that, right? Keep me in your thoughts, because now I'm craving everything bad. Not used to being sober. So glad I found your channel. I can't say it enough. We'll definitely keep you in our thoughts and prayers, Casey. Keep on pushing, girl. Keep on pushing. Great to see you. Congrats on your detox. That's wonderful. I've been having cravings too. Super rough. You are not alone. I'm so glad you're here, Tara says. How far? I'm still a half an hour behind, guys. Sorry about that. I'm going to do my best to start catching up to y'all. Throw out your strips now. If you have some, you will want to try them again. No temptations. Yes, that's a big part of it, guys. If you have a stash of Suboxone and you transition to Sublocade, you're going to want to get rid of the stash that you have, because at some point your brain will talk you into wondering what it feels like to fill your Suboxone again. Ask me how I know. If you guys remember, I shared with you that I did exactly that. And it wasn't until I threw all of my Suboxone in a fire and burned them up that I could stop obsessing about thinking about what it would feel like to be on Suboxone again. My milk is getting warm over here. Just a quick side note, guys, we've got 24 people in here and only 21 likes on the video. So if somebody hasn't yet smashed that like button, if you're just stopping in here, please smash that baby. I'd appreciate you. I know we can get that puppy over 25 real quick. Let's see here. Hope you keep up that hard work, friend. I agree with Kevin. What do you think about blocking the dealer's number? Yeah, that's definitely something that I would do for sure. Okay, scrolling. Okay, well, thanks everyone. What a great channel. I searched for this information everywhere, and this is the only place I found any answers. I'm not sure why it's not more popular, honestly, right? Like there's not a lot of information out there, especially about Sublocade. You know, at this point, Suboxone has now been on the market for a good 20 years, right? So there are plenty of people on YouTube who have shared their Suboxone journey, but as far as Sublocade, there's really not much on YouTube about that. So I always tell everybody, if you're in the position to share your story, create a small YouTube channel and talk about this stuff, especially when it comes to Sublocade, right? Or Brixadi, which we should be having some information coming in soon about Brixadi. So if you're interested in hearing about that, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and smash that notification bell so that way you're notified every time we go live. We go live every Wednesday at the same time as this. We've been doing this live stream for 2 years now, guys. I've only missed 2 live streams in 2 years. So as soon as football season is over, we will go back to also doing a Sunday live stream. So just a heads up on that, guys. The football season's now about halfway over. So Sunday live streams will come back to the channel as soon as football is over. And let's see here. My baby. We just had another super chat from Mikey showing love to the channel today. You know we need to fire up the sponsor bomb for that, baby. Let's do it right now. Fire up the jets. Boom. So Mikey says TRT helps reverse the horrible effects of Suboxone. So yes, guys, if you're on any bup product, buprenorphine, I always used to say it wrong. Buprenorphine, buprenorphine, however the hell you say it, guys. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. If you're on Suboxone, if you're on Subutex, if you're on even Kratom, if you're on painkillers from the doctor, if you're on fake fentanyl painkillers, if you're on anything like that, even Sublocade, all of these things will lower your testosterone levels. So if you're a male, you need to have your testosterone checked by your doctor. It's a very simple, cheap test, quick blood test, and it's good to check your indicators in your body anyway. So you might as well have your testosterone checked while you're going to do that, just to make sure your body's running how it should be running, right? I tell every man who is on any of those substances, even alcohol can do the same. Smoking cigarettes can do the same. These things can lower your testosterone, which can lower your sex drive, which can lower your muscle gains in the gym, right? If your testosterone is low. Your sex drive can be all jacked up, which can cause relationship problems or anxiety problems about dating somebody new. Tons of different issues that can pop up from having low T. So TRT for many guys is a major, major game changer. So definitely talk to your doctor, have your testosterone checked, especially if you're over the age of 30, right? Anywhere over the age of 30. I've seen guys that had to be on TRT in their early 20s. Well, it was because obviously they abused steroids in their late teens, which is insanity that people would do that, but people do it these days. I've been on TRT since I was 28, guys. So it's been 15 years, 14, 13 years, something like that. And I definitely can feel when that starts to fall off. Right around the 7-day mark is when it falls off for me, and I start to feel off. I'm like, something's off. I must be behind. I check my calendar. I'm like, yep, I'm a day late on my shot. The next day, I feel great after I have my shot. Where was I at here? Okay. Scrolling through the comments, guys. I'm trying to get caught up to you guys. I'm still a half an hour behind in the comments. I feel like there was something else I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember what it was. Also, Falcon's Cloud, still in here. Good to see you still in here. Says, we've been on Suboxone for 7 years. Thinking about Sublocade. I have tried and failed quitting cold turkey 3 times. So there's a saying out there. I don't know where it started from. Some people said it was me that started saying that, but I don't think it was. It could have been. But there's a saying out there that says it takes on average about 7 times trying to quit Suboxone to be successful. And as far as what Falcon's Cloud is saying, he said that he's tried quitting Suboxone 3 times and failed every time. So definitely, you see what he says here. He says, well, you don't see that because I have the super chat up on the screen, which I'm going to leave up there for a minute. But he says that he tried and failed quitting cold turkey. Guys, if you're watching this channel and you don't know much about what it's like to cold turkey Suboxone or anything like Suboxone, do not do that to yourself. It is highly unlikely that you will be able to be successful doing a cold turkey jump off from Suboxone at any dose. It's probably a 99% likelihood that if you're on Suboxone, you're going to have to taper yourself off with a long, slow taper, meaning 6 to 12 months. Some people, it takes even longer. Unless you have a high tolerance for suffering, which is exactly what will happen if you try to cold turkey, as Falcon's Cloud found out a few times, it sounds like. Don't do that to yourself, guys. It's very, very hard to do a cold turkey Suboxone withdrawal. You can try it. You could always try it, but likely it's not going to work. It's going to be a pretty hard task. Obviously, it's the fastest way to get off and move on with your life. But if you're in risk of relapse and you try to do a cold turkey Suboxone, you're just setting yourself up for bad things, right? If you're somebody who's been sober off of street drugs for many years and you're not worried that you're going to go get some fake drugs off the street and die, then maybe you can try to cold turkey Suboxone. But if it's something that you think you might go out there and get some fentanyl, and who knows what the hell else is in that stuff these days, then I highly suggest to not do that, guys. Long, slow taper, land that plane slow and steady like this. Or consider Sublocade if your insurance will cover it. That will be a much smoother landing, I guarantee you. If you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, you're watching this on the replay, feel free to post a comment, and I'll do my best to reply to you. Let's see here. There's this fake book, laughing my ass off. Eat some soup or something. I can't not eat. I literally feel irritable and sick. Oh, so this is a really good comment here. Ex-Empath, that's a cool name. Says, I've gotten 3 Sublocade shots so far and I can't seem to stop supplementing. Any suggestions would be awesome. That is a hell of a comment right there. Empath, are you still here? If you could post a quick comment. If you're still in here, this was a half an hour ago that they posted this, but let me know what the transition doses were. What dose of Suboxone were you on when you got your first Sublocade shot, and what doses of shots have you gotten so far? That can give me a little bit more information on what's going on. And I'll circle back to what I've said in the past on this channel, guys. You really have to be ready to feel normal if you're wanting to get on Sublocade because of the really long half-life. Okay, so you are. Okay, so good to see you still in here. So I'm responding to your comment now. Let me know what dose of Suboxone you were on when you started the Sublocade, and what doses have you gotten so far, of what strengths. Guys, if you're thinking about getting on Sublocade, you really, really, really have to be ready to feel normal. Right? This is what you feel all day and all night. And that's because the drug is slowly releasing low doses in your system. Okay. Cameron, what's up, brother? Good to see you. So, as I was talking about a little bit earlier in the stream here today, when you take your oral Suboxone, sublingual Suboxone, sorry, it kicks in and you feel whatever it is you feel. Most people get an energy boost. Some people, like myself, get calm and relaxed. Some people don't feel anything at all, right? So I know a lot of you get a bunch of energy from your Suboxone dose, so you feel it kick in, right? And it's something that you like. You're going to miss that if you don't have that anymore. So you have to be ready to not feel that anymore. You're going to feel like this once you get on Sublocade. You have to know in your heart if you're ready to let that feeling go that you get from Suboxone, right? Because a lot of people really enjoy the feeling that they get from their Suboxone. It's different for all of us, but you just have to be ready to feel normal, because I was under the false impression that, wow, I'm just going to keep feeling that feeling all day because it's just going to be keeping my receptors full of bupe. So I thought I was going to keep feeling that feeling all day. And it's a much different experience than I thought it was going to be. And so that's why I try to make sure that everybody knows on this channel that if you're switching to Sublocade, you have to be ready to feel normal and steady. So Empath says, I've been on sub since 2013. I was steady at 10 milligrams a day when I got my first 300 milligram shot. I've gotten a total of 300 milligram shots so far. Wow. So yeah, your blood levels right now of bupe, they have got to be really high. So you have a lot of bupe in your system. I would be surprised if you're not having issues with constipation at this point, especially if you're still taking Suboxone on top of that. What is it that you feel when you take your Suboxone on top of your Sublocade? Do you feel it kick in still? And also, what dose of Suboxone are you taking when you take them? And are you taking it every single day, Empath? Yeah, guys, but if you're on the third month and you keep supplementing, then at this point it might just be, yo, this ain't working, I'm just going to stay on Suboxone type of thing, right? I would definitely not suggest doing both and staying on both, because it's like, why do that, right? Why do that? I would definitely, by the third month, you got to know this is either working or that's not working, right? Yeah, let me know how often you're supplementing and what dose you're supplementing with, Empath. You probably, if you're serious about moving on from the oral grind of dosing Suboxone, then you're going to need to get rid of your oral doses, right? You're not going to be going into withdrawal at this point. You have a lot of bupe built up in your system from those previous 300 milligram shots. It's just a decision you're going to have to make and that's why I tell you guys, once you get on Sublocade, you need to get rid of your oral doses, because if you don't, this can happen. If it's available to you, more than likely, you're going to reach in and take that dose. There's a saying that, who was it that said that? I can't remember the name of who said this, but she said it perfectly. She said, if you have Suboxone and you're on Sublocade, your brain will trick you into thinking that you need to take it at some point or another, something like that. And that is very true. If you have a lockbox full of Suboxone, someday boredom is going to kick in, curiosity is going to kick in, something's going to kick in and make you reach into that box and take that dose. And then you're going to be probably self-guilting yourself because you're like, this is the whole reason I got on Sublocade, so I could stop doing the oral dosing. And it's just like self-defeating the purpose of being on Sublocade, right? So Tara says, why does Dr. Chris Park not give the shots? So he says that he's brought it up to a lot of people, but a lot of people are afraid of the transition. There's a lot of anxiety that's built up around switching to the shot. You've probably heard people mention that before on the channel, Tara, and I was really nervous about it myself because you really don't know what to expect. You don't know how bad the shot's going to hurt because you hear people say it hurts so bad when it's really just like a bee sting. Yeah, a bee sting hurts. Who wants to get stung by a bee? But it's over in just a few minutes. You're totally fine after that. So Empath says, yes, kicking. It's a mental thing for sure. Yes, constipation, laugh out loud. I just started taking a milligram here and there, but then ended up on an average. I take 4 to 6 milligrams a day now. They told me that my levels were rather low after the first 300 milligram shot. So yeah, if they were to check your levels now, I promise you your levels are really high. So, I mean, at least it's good that you're not taking the full dose that you were taking before, right? But it's just not needed. It's just not needed. You don't need it anymore. Your brain needs to rewire to get out of that I need something to feel normal habit. So you're going to just have to get rid of your stash. Or if you can't do that, then you might as well just go back to just staying on Suboxone, right? That's the thoughts that I would be thinking if I was in your shoes. You got to make the leap of faith and get rid of your Suboxone. Or if you just can't do that for whatever reason, then say, screw it. I tried it. It didn't work. I'm just going to stay on Suboxone. Suboxone ain't going anywhere, guys. It's always going to be there for you if Sublocade doesn't work out. Oh, Callie says she's waiting 9 weeks between shots now. That's awesome. So I'm glad that your doctor is letting you do that, Callie. That's really, really makes me happy to see that you've been spacing out your shots like that. And I'm willing to bet you that she's been totally fine between her shots. So Empath says, it's weird. I felt better on 10 milligrams a day strips than on the 300 milligram Sublocade. So yeah, that's because you felt it kick in, right? That's because you enjoyed the feeling that you got from your Suboxone. Sublocade doesn't have the same effects as Suboxone, and that's why it's so different. It's why I've told everybody it's the same medication. Yes, it's buprenorphine, however you say that. I always say it the wrong way first. Yes, it's bupe, but the half-life is what makes it such a different experience, right? When you're taking your Suboxone, it kicks in full blast in an hour and a half. You don't ever get that effect with Sublocade. It just keeps you out of withdrawal and keeps you feeling normal. You're not supposed to feel Sublocade. That's the whole point of it. That's how it rewires your brain to get back to being normal without taking something every day. That's the blessing of Sublocade, is that you just feel normal. You don't have the highs and lows every day like you do with Suboxone. So yeah, it sounds like you enjoyed the effect that you got from taking your Suboxone, and that's why it's probably hard for you to let that go. So you guys have to know in your heart if you're ready to let that go or not, or if you can let that go or not. Many people I've talked to on this channel have been able to kick that oral addiction from day one of Sublocade. Day one, guys, that's incredible. But not everybody's like that, and that's okay. Like, everybody's different with this stuff. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, Empath. And I'm sorry that you haven't been able to kick that baby yet. But like I said, if you have Suboxone available, you're going to keep taking it. And constipation will continue to be a pretty big issue, especially if you're on the 300 shot and you're supplementing on top of that. So make sure that you're keeping up on your constipation by taking supplements or going on liquid diets for some time. You need to be making sure that you're getting stuff out if you're putting food in, right? That's scary to be that backed up. I've been there before. So yes, so Empath just said, "Oh, after I got the first 300 milligram shot, I felt amazing for 48 hours," and that's exactly what I just said earlier in the stream, guys. That's the only time that you're gonna feel the effects from bupe is your first day or two of the shot, right? And that's your body just getting used to the steady levels of dose, and then after the 48, 2-3 days go by, you're gonna be like this. But yeah, on your shot day, you might get those feelings for 1 or 2 days while your body readjusts to the new levels because you're now being fed from an additional spot, right? So it's just like your bupe levels are steady, and then you get your next shot and it boosts it up even higher for the day, and then your body levels out and it just stays like this. If Sublocade isn't working for you, Brixadi isn't going to work either, Empath. So Brixadi lasts even just a little bit less than Sublocade. So it's basically like a different way. It's Brixadi is a really similar thing to Sublocade, is what I'm saying. So if you didn't have success on Sublocade, then Brixadi is not going to be any different. But Brixadi should be a little bit cheaper than Sublocade, yes. However, it's going to greatly depend on your insurance. Guys, I am so far behind in the comments, but I'm bouncing back and forth, as you guys can see here. I'm going to start speed scrolling here. My voice is starting to get groggy. We've been on here for an hour and 45 minutes, guys. We still have 20 people in here. We've got 25 likes. Let's get that baby to 30. Let everybody else know that we're still in here hanging out. Please smash that like button, guys. So Rachel says, Kevin, it does for me. What does for you? Feels different? Rachel, do you want to hop on here and chat about Brixadi, or should we do that next week? Can you do that pretty soon? Rachel, I know Rachel recently switched from Sublocade to Brixadi, guys, so she is probably going to be the first person on this channel to talk about Brixadi with us. So I really want to get some information from her. So Rach, let me know when you can do that, because I want to pick your brain on that. And I want to find out, give you 5. Oh, so you can come on today? Oh, shit. All right, guys, we're going to have Rachel on today. So my apologies, but we're going to miss out on a good chunk of comments, but it's going to be worth it because we're going to talk about Brixadi. So let me know when you're ready, Rach, and I'll throw you a link. I definitely wanted to get the information from her. She's right at the time that we need to get that information. She's right at the sweet spot of the transition. So we just had a super sponsor bomb come through. Kimmy B, baby. Ooh, baby. Sent a $40 Cash App donation. Shout out to you, Kimmy B. Showing love to the channel. As always, I really appreciate you, girl. Glad you're still in here. Fire up the bomb, baby. Ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-boom. Boom. Shout out to you, Kimmy B. I appreciate you, girl. Guys, if you guys didn't know, you'll see me on Kimmy's channel all the time, as well, as often as I can make it anyway. She does a lot of YouTube streams. So please, please, please go subscribe. Go check out Kimmy's channel. She's over 200 subscribers now. She does way more live streams than I do. And it's not just only about addiction over there like it is here. She talks about all sorts of different things, and it's a good group of people. A lot of people you'll see from this channel over on hers. So if you like the people here in this community, go check out her channel. If one of my moderators could please post a link to Kimmy's channel, I would appreciate you. You can simply find her channel by typing in, I was going to say Kimmy B, but it's Kimmy's Playhouse, guys. And if I see a comment from her, I'll post it up so you can. It's literally that easy. You just have to type in Kimmy's Playhouse and you will find it. But one of my moderators will post a link to her channel shortly. So watch for that in the comments, guys. And we're missing you up in here, Kimmy, if you're still listening. And I hope things are going okay for you. I know she talked about her friend just got shot today, guys. Checking out the store, then I can hop on. Okay, sounds good, Rach. What do you guys recommend for the constipation? So Dr. Chris Park swears by, what's it called, guys? Miralax, I think it's called. It's one that you can buy over the counter. I think it's called Miralax. Pretty sure. Yeah. Also, you can up your fiber. You can take supplemental fiber. You can eat plenty of. The major thing with constipation, if you're struggling with constipation, anybody that's watching this, if you're on kratom, if you're on Suboxone, if you're on Sublocade, if you're on painkillers, if you're on fentanyl, etc., you need to be drinking a lot of water, guys. At least a half a gallon of water per day, because this shit will drain your body of fluids. It will drain your stools of fluids. Your joints and knees will start to ache and creak and make funky noises. The stuff will drain you, so you need to be drinking lots of water, not just drinking soda all day, right? So that's the main thing, guys, is to stay very well hydrated. I would drink even more than a half a gallon of water if you can. Maybe half a gallon to 3/4 of a gallon. If you really want to go wild with it, you could drink a full gallon, but you'll be peeing all day long. And probably all night long too. But there are lots of over-the-counter supplements you can take. Cameron says milk of magnesia. So there's a lot of stuff that you can take. But yeah, you guys definitely need to keep track of your poos. If you're just getting out little pebbles, then that means you're way, way, way backed up. You need to be getting out a full solid poo at least every other day, but ideally every day. If you're going days between a normal poo and it's like hurting, that's not good, guys. You're behind on your constipation. It's something you need to keep up on. Lowering your dose of Suboxone or Sublocade will help, or kratom. Also taking, exercise, running, jogging, that kind of stuff helps too. Sorry I'm so far behind the comments, guys. You guys are great going on with the comments today. I appreciate y'all. Keeping the conversation going. Dropping the questions, dropping the comments, dropping the sponsor bombs. I appreciate y'all. Kingdom Within, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Hey, Kev and the gang. Good to see everyone. Many blessings. Good to see you, brother. How you doing, man? How you doing? Marky Rizzo made it. What up, Marky? How you doing, bro? Hopefully you're feeling better, my friend. I know you've been having some issues lately. Scrolling. Keep these doggies scrolling. FMD made it. What's up, FMD? Good to see you, bro. This was like 35 minutes ago. He's probably not in here anymore, but good to see you, FMD. I'm also down to, oh, did you go back out to Florida? Is that what you're saying? Yep. I'm also, let's see, I'm driving also down to, so FMD's headed back to the Florida town, it sounds like. That's good, brother. That's good, man. Get back out to the Sunshine State, baby. Well, where the alligators are strong and the days are long. Probably 80 degrees out there. Freaking Utah's like 20 below. Cameron says, I drink so much water and constantly pee it out cleared. Yeah, that's a good thing, guys. Keep an eye on your pee, right? If your pee is dark, the darker your pee is, the more dehydrated you are, basically. It's not always about that, but that's a really a good way you can gauge. If you can boss out like Cameron is and your pee is coming out clear, that's how you know that you're not dehydrated at all. That's a good indicator, I should say. So yeah, the clearer your pee can get from the more water that you drink, the better, guys. If your pee is like dark ass orange, you're not drinking enough water. So Mikey says, if you are a male and you have been on subs or substances, you need to have your test levels checked. I used to be so emotional and unhinged. I got on TRT and it changed my life. I am totally a new person. Yes, yes, and yes. Absolutely. I agree with everything he said right there. So Kimmy posted a link to my clarity.fm. If you guys need to have a private conversation with me on your time, you can book a coaching call with me right there on that link that Kimmy posted. We can chat for 5 minutes or 5 hours, whatever you need. Obviously, it does charge you per minute, but it's the lowest amount I can even charge on there. It literally won't let me charge any less than I do. So it's very cheap to have a quick call with me if you guys need to. I appreciate everybody who's reached out to me on the Clarity link in the past. You all know who you are. Thanks for posting that, Kimmy. You guys might hear the jets flying above here. Just let me know when you're ready, Rach. I'm just kind of speed scrolling through the comments here. So FMD's in Georgia. I literally just about spilt this whole thing on my face. What's up, Brandon's Recovery? Good to see you, bro. I'm just scrolling here, guys. Be patient with me. We're going to have Rach on the channel in just a moment here, and she's going to talk about how Brixadi has been working for her. She switched from Sublocade to Brixadi. And Brixadi just barely hit the market like a month ago. So this will be the first time we've heard about that. So Grubmud, what's up, Grubmud? Good to see you, bro. Says microdose if you have to. Do what works for you. So I think he's talking about microdosing Suboxone while on Sublocade. Scrolling through the comments here. And we just had another super chat come through here, guys. I appreciate y'all showing love to the channel today. Let's throw that up on the screen. And we need to fire up the sponsor jet. Let's do that now. Shout out to you, Falcons Cloud. I appreciate that. Dropping the sponsor bomb in here. Boom. So Falcons Cloud says, thanks for all this info. It's been a blessing. We will be steady listeners. I appreciate that. And thank you for that sponsor bomb. And thanks for finding the channel. This is a really great community of people that we have that come here every week to chat with us. And also people that watch on the replay crew. Shout out to you guys. I know that not everybody can make it to the weekly meetings here on YouTube. But remember, guys, if you need someone to talk and listen and bounce ideas off of, that's what this channel is for, to share what you guys are going through, your struggles, things that have been working for you. You know, if you're struggling with your recovery, let us know. Let's talk about it. If you're having success and you'd like to share that with others, let us know. I appreciate everybody who comes in here and chats with us. It helps keep the conversation going, and it really helps keep the dead air thing from happening, which I hate when it's like super slow and there's not a lot of comments. I don't like those streams at all. So ideally I would have like a backup topic to bring up. That's probably the best way to do it. But oftentimes I don't have that set up like that. So you guys are killing it today with all the comments, questions, and sharing your experiences. I really appreciate you guys. Shout out to you. Lost my place in the comments. So Empath says I'll have to look into the Brixadi. So Israel, oh Israel, good to see you, man. It's been a while. Says hi guys. Unfortunately, I still haven't made the jump from Zubsolv to Sublocade. What are you waiting for, my friend? What are you waiting for? I'm pretty sure you've told us that your insurance covers it, right? Is it just that you're anxious about the switch? Rach, are you ready to go yet? I'm going to post a link for her. Jill, what's up, Jill? Good to see you. I like that profile picture, girl. She says, generic bupe patches are very reasonably priced. Yes, absolutely. I think it's called Buprenex is the name of the generic. She's talking about the Butrans patch, but the generic for the Butrans patch. A lot of people don't even know what the heck that is. Dr. Chris Park actually made a video today about talking about the Butrans patch. Casey, I've been traveling. Let's see. I'm going to post a link for her. Where the heck? It's been so long since I've had somebody on the channel. Give me a minute to do this, guys. How do I do this? Copy. Boom. So, Rach, whenever you're ready, I'm posting this link in here now. You can just click on that, baby. I apologize for some of the comments I had to skip over, guys. There was a lot of them. I usually try to read everybody's comment, but some days it's not possible. So as we're waiting for Rach, I'm going to scroll back through some older comments that I skipped over. Or maybe I could just chat with you guys for a minute in the live stream. So who's all still up in here? Say hello, say hello. My milk is warm. My milk is warm over here. How long is it going to take you to get to Florida, Dan? If you're still in here, let us know. Earlier, Falcons Cloud says, are you still taking Sublocade shots? We want off bupe so bad, but the RLS or restless body syndrome was more than we could bear. Yes, that is absolute torture. That is absolute torture. So no, I haven't had a shot since April, late April. Slow-mo, what's up, buddy? How are you doing, Slow-mo? But yeah, the RLS when jumping off of Suboxone is brutal, right? So that's why many people will do a long, slow taper. Have you guys tried tapering yet, Falcons Cloud? I would say either try tapering or try Sublocade if your insurance covers it, right? Those are kind of two options you have. There's a lot of people out there that don't have the right mindset to have to taper themselves every day, because it is something that you have to put effort into daily, right? You have to fight your brain that tells you, hey, today sucks. I'm having a bad day. You could take more and it would make the day better, right? With that lie that would fix some problems that you have, or whatever your brain is telling you, right? So not everybody wants to go through that long, slow taper, and I get it. It's a lot of work. So if Sublocade isn't available to you, then that's really the only option you have, is to do a long, slow taper. There are plenty of videos online about tapering Suboxone. Generally speaking, you're going to take 6 to 12 months and have something planned out. Taper it down to this dose, then you stabilize. Then you taper it down to the next dose, then you stabilize. So you taper down to 0.5 milligram. Okay, so when you were talking earlier, you kind of made it sound like you did like a real cold turkey withdrawal. So I was thinking, because there's been people that jumped off cold turkey at 16 milligrams, which is insanity to do that. So you tried jumping off of 0.5 milligram. Is that what you're saying? So yeah, I mean, if is that where you're at now, Falcons Cloud? Are you down to 0.5 milligram, or what's your current dose? Because if you get too low, your doctor won't give you Sublocade if you get too low. And also, it doesn't really make sense at a certain point. I mean, if you're down to 0.5 milligram, so you're at 0.5 milligram now. Yeah, so you don't even want to go to, if you can taper down to 0.5 milligram, then you can taper down to 0.25 milligram. And if you can taper down to 0.25 milligram, then you can taper down to 0.125, right? So it's literally just wash, rinse, repeat. If you got yourself down to half a milligram, then trust me, you can get yourself all the way off. You just have to be patient and remember that the lower you go, the slower you go, guys. Keep that in mind. The lower you go, the slower you go with your taper. If somebody just tapered down to a half of a milligram, I would say take another 2 or 3 months or 4 months. Taper down to a quarter of a milligram, then taper down to half of a quarter of a milligram before you jump off, right? Kimmy jumped off of a half of a milligram and it was still a pretty bad withdrawal. And I can relate. I tried jumping off of many different doses. Charles says, taper charts been working for me so far. Yeah, what is that? KG said, what are taper charts? I haven't heard about that either. So Rach says she's loading up her car. Can you drop a link? Yep, I'll pop it up again right now, girl. So I just dropped the link for you again. Just let me know. I'll watch for you to pop up in here. FMD, you damn well better not do that. So she's going to hop on here in just a moment, guys. I'm watching for her to pop up on here now. And just remember that you are all my babies, baby. And we have 28 likes on this video. Let's get a couple more on there, guys. Get that baby over 30. We have 22 people still in here hanging out. I appreciate y'all. Been rocking with me for over 2 hours now. You know, my voice starts to get froggy at this point, but I'm gonna try to push through. Let me get some water over here real quick, guys. Hold up a sec. Ooh, yeah. Oh, shit. Marky Rizzo coming through. So it looks like Marky's still in here because he just sent a $5 Cash App donation. Shout out to you, Marky Rizzo. He says, for the OG squad. Yes, Marky is the longest running contributor to this channel. He sent a $5 Cash App. I appreciate that, Marky. You are the man. Let's go ahead and fire up the jet for my boy Marky Rizzo. Showing the love, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh. Little Ric Flair for Marky. Woo! Oh, yeah. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate the love. Man, he's been sponsoring this channel, guys, for ever since we started the Wednesday live stream. So super shout out to you, Marky Rizzo. I appreciate the consistency you've shown to this channel ever since we started doing the Wednesday live streams, brother. Reminds me of when Mama Deb was around here hanging out with us too. She was always showing love to the channel. Has anybody talked to her? Is she doing well? Hopefully she's doing well with everything in life. I haven't seen her on here for so long. So hopefully everything's going well with her. And where you at, girl? Where you at, Rach? I kind of got to pee. Let me go use the bathroom real quick, guys. I'll be back in just a moment. Enjoy some music. And when I get back, Rachel should be on, and we will go ahead and discuss Brixadi. I'll be right back. Jamming out, baby, baby. Where you at, Rach? Where you at, girl? Damn, that's a jam right there. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had to take a bathroom break. All these fluids I'll be drinking. Let's see here. Back to the comments we go. Oh, I see somebody popping up in here. Give me the thumbs up if you're ready, Rach. All right, she's good, guys. Let's go ahead and bring her on here. Before we do, let's finish the last comment. Charles says, documenting the days, time, and dose on a spreadsheet. Just something to help keep you on track. Helps you plan when you want to taper down on a certain date. Hope that helps. Very easy. Yes. So I have books of calendars that I bought. Each year I documented the dose that I took for the day, how I was feeling, anything to note, any side effects I was experiencing, sexual side effects, constipation, etc. Keep track of your doses. It will help you monitor where you're at with your recovery, right? And it will help you keep on track, because if you're just taking whatever dose for the day, you'll be all over the place, and it's a really unstable way to go about trying to taper. Keep track of your doses, guys. Let's go ahead and pull Rach in here. Hey.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good. Can you go widescreen mode for me?
Yes, 1 second. I'm trying to move to where people won't be staring at me in the parking lot.
Okay, no rush.
Okay, let's see. Does this work?
That works great, yes. How you doing?
Yeah. Sounds great. Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Can everybody hear her good? Does it sound good enough? Let us know. I think it's good from what I'm hearing in my ear. We should be good. So what's up, girl? How you been?
I've been okay. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I'm just excited to hear what you... Yeah, I haven't had you on here for quite a while here. Izzy says hello.
Hello.
She
so
said
cute.
hi.
I was really glad that you asked me to come up, because I was like, oh man, I know we haven't really been able to talk about the Brixadi or anything too much.
Yeah.
It took me so long to get it.
It took you so long to get it?
Mm-hmm.
So let's back. So you're on it. How long ago did you get your shot now? How long have you been on it?
So I think, let's see, the 18th. I think it was the 18th. Was that a Wednesday?
No,
I want to say it was the 18th.
So you've been on it for almost 2 weeks now. Wednesday, 18th was a Saturday.
Okay, so it was 2 weeks ago today.
Okay. So
because I know for sure it was a Wednesday.
Okay. So how long were you on Sublocade? Tell the people.
Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know me, for one, I can't see the chat, but hey, everybody. And so I was on Suboxone for 13 years, or Subutex, and then I started Sublocade in April 26th to be exact. I had a couple of 300 microgram shots, and then I went to the 100 microgram. And the whole time I kept complaining to Kevin, Tara, Dan, Kimmy, anybody who would listen, like, something's wrong with me, Marky. Like, I don't know, I feel weird. Like, I just feel like I want medicine still, and I don't know why. And it was just really weird. Like, I thought that I was going to be able to take the Sublocade and, like, just be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But according to my doctor, he said, sometimes when you're on it for 9 million years, like I was, sometimes that just happens and it's okay. And he kept telling me, like, it was okay to supplement if I had to, but I didn't want to because I didn't want to set myself back. And I kept saying, okay, well, what's mental and what's physical? And I couldn't really tell sometimes, and then that skeeved me out even more. So, full disclosure, and I know, like, my situation is unique. Everybody's situation is unique. but I take a medicine called Manjaro, and it's injected into my stomach. So I always stayed away from where my Sublocade was, the whatever they call it, the bump.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking to myself, okay, maybe that's why I feel like this, and went through so many things. And then finally they put me on Mobic, which is hard for me to take NSAIDs anyway because I swell. That's a whole nother thing. And to see if that would make me more comfortable while I was on the Sublocade. And it did help. But I just felt like, I guess really the best word was like cravings, but I felt really good on the Sublocade, and I really loved it. It's just sometimes I felt a little uncomfortable, and then it would pass. But I felt like that far, by this point, I was still feeling that way occasionally, like even in October, September, October. So that's when we decided to do the Brixadi, because I was thinking, well, what if just by the off chance the Manjaro being injected into my stomach is affecting the Sublocade? And with the Brixadi, you can go in your arm, even though you shouldn't do that at first, from what I've been told. Or you can do it in your butt or whatever, right? So I'm like, let's see if that helps. Do it in the butt. Just kidding. Sorry to say that on your channel, Kevin. I couldn't really help myself. Had to. And so I went ahead and got my first shot 2 weeks ago today, and they did put it in my right butt cheek. And I believe we named her Gloria in Kimmy's chat. And at first I felt effed up. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here. I felt like nervous at first. I started getting really nervous. I'm like, this is too much medicine. Oh my God. This is like, yeah, I was kind of scared. I actually called Tara. It's okay, throw you under the bus, Tara. And I was like, I think I'm fucked up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the parking lot. Like, I can drive, but I just felt like really weird. But it went away after like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh, wow. So you had the feeling that I had when I first had my first Sublocade shot. You had that rush of bupe.
Yeah, and I didn't like it. Like, I felt like I was going to barf, and I don't know, I felt weird. And it had been a long time since I had felt like that, But then after that went away, like by that night, so I think I got my shot at like 1 o'clock. So by like dinner time that night, I felt normal again.
Okay.
And like I said, I was fine. I sat there for a little while to make sure I could drive, because I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then got home. I was fine later. And then the next day I woke up, and I just felt like for the next like while, like probably a week and a half, I didn't even really think about cravings or anything for the first time since April.
Wow.
Like, so that was huge for me, because there was a lot of times where I was like, man, am I just screwed? Like, am I just like one of those people that like just can't do this route? Like, I got really discouraged. But I don't know what the difference is, to be honest. I do know one thing, and this is something I wanted to mention after seeing Ex-Empath in there earlier. And I don't know, I could have missed plenty of the conversation because I've kind of been in and out. But so like I take Wellbutrin for depression, and I'm ready to get off of it. I forgot to take it for like 5 days whenever I first got my shot. And I felt better than I had felt in a really long time. And I was like, what if my Wellbutrin was too much? What if, because my doctor kept saying, no, I don't want to take you off of it. I was on the 300 milligram. So finally I just had to be kind of an asshole and like tell her, like, you're going to take me off of this depression medicine because it's making me feel nervous. And I think the nervous feeling is tricking my brain and telling me, no, you want bupe. And really, I don't need help with anything else to make me want bupe or think that I need more bupe than I have. I got all the bupe in the world. I don't need more bupe right now. So I was like, this is crazy. So I just, and I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice, obviously, but I quit taking it, and I talked to my pharmacist, and I was like, look, I take the highest dose. Obviously, it's extended release. It can't be cut. What can I do? And I was like, I feel great after not taking it. And he was like, just stop taking it. So I did, and I haven't looked back.
So you're talking about the Wellbutrin, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
between getting off of the Wellbutrin, and it's kind of a lot in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
but getting off of the Wellbutrin, switching to the Brixadi, which made a huge difference. I don't know, I think this is what normal feels like. I think, what,
Yeah. So,
but I feel better than I felt.
yeah, that's really amazing. So you didn't have to taper or anything the Wellbutrin, you just cut that right out?
Yeah, and I wouldn't
Wow.
recommend that by any
Okay.
means, but you are supposed to technically taper it. But
Okay.
for months I had been asking to go to the 150, and she didn't want to.
That's a Wellbutrin dose or what?
Yeah, so it comes in 300 and 150.
Oh, wow.
And I was trying to go to the 150 to take that so I could get off of that, because my goal is to ultimately cut out all meds.
Yeah.
And I did cut out my swelling medicine that I've been on since my car accident for leg swelling. And so I cut that out, I guess, about a month ago. So I'm getting there, getting rid of
Wow.
everything like one by one.
Yeah, it sounds like things are really looking up for you. I wanted to go over a couple things you were talking about. Um,
Yeah.
Earlier, she had mentioned that she was on the 300 micrograms, but she meant to say 300 milligram shot, right, with the Sublocade.
Yeah.
So just a quick correction on that. The
My bad,
micrograms
guys.
are for the patches. Okay, so let's go over the doses. How many shots you had? How many shots you had? Did you get them every month on Sublocade? And did you lower down to the 100? Did your doctor go off label and
Yeah.
change the doses, or how did that go?
No, so instead of, so that's where we were at before Brixadi came out. He was going to basically give me like a 200 or, whatever he had to do, like a 200 or whatever. And then when they came and talked to him about Brixadi, and he was like, yeah, I would love for you to take it. By the way, would you be our guinea pig and take it with no lidocaine to see how you do? And I said, yeah. And it hurt, but it didn't hurt nearly as bad as Sublocade,
Okay. So
which was crazy.
yeah. So
But
so how many shots did you
okay.
get total of the Brix or the
So,
Sublocade?
so total with the Sublocade, I got um 300 shots,
Mm-hmm.
and then so okay, so 300 shots, and then so April, May, June, okay, and then July, August, September, October, and then I got 4 100 shots.
Okay. So were you having cravings the whole time you were on Sublocade or what? And was it cravings just for Suboxone, right? Not opiates?
Yeah, no, not opiates. And it wasn't even, it's weird because it wasn't all day long. Like, that's not like what I thought about. And like, I was I know everybody is different and
Mm-hmm.
absolutely no judgment. I was very scared to supplement,
Mm-hmm.
because you know, I, I think I have like medical paranoia anyway. But, and I did supplement, or, what am I trying to say? I did supplement at first, but I was scared because I was like, man, what if I make this worse or whatever? But the cravings, it was never for, another opiate. It was never for anything other than like, I just felt like I was almost like having like the highs and lows of when, when you take a lot of Subutex or Suboxone and you wake up in the morning and feel like dog shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of felt like the very beginning, like maybe if I woke up at like 4 in the morning to use the bathroom or something, and I was like kind of achy and like just nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was having a really hard time because of that and everything else that was going on with me with my other meds, the Manjaro and the Wellbutrin and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I nervous and feeling achy because of these or because of the Sublocade? And to be 100% honest with you, I don't know, but I really do think that it has something to do with where the Sublocade was being injected, because it did make such a difference to go to the Brixadi.
Yeah, it makes me curious to wonder what would have happened if they would have put Sublocade in the same location,
Right.
right? Even
Well,
though
so
you're not supposed to do it anywhere but around the stomach, but like, what if somebody would have tried to do it? Like, I don't see why it would really matter.
I know. I was curious about that too. And he said, my doctor told me that if you put Sublocade, because the size difference, if you put it in the arm or in the butt cheek, that it won't absorb correctly.
Oh.
And it can either like go one way or the other. It can either like last too long or absorb too fast. And
Oh.
so that's why they won't do it with that. But with the Brixadi, I think it's like a different type of gel, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
And so it was the cutest little thing. It was like, where's the camera? Like weird. Like that big. It was so cute.
Mm-hmm. So before I've talked about how I thought that Brixadi wouldn't have as big of a like marble appearance under the skin. Is that true, or is it as big of a lump as Sublocade was?
You can't even feel it really. Like,
Oh wow.
I mean, I have quite a large rump, but let me see.
Rump shaker.
Exactly. Like I can still feel like quite a few Sublocade
Bumps.
yeah, like let's see. I could still feel like two of them.
Does it feel like a little BB or a marble or?
Yeah, so with the Brixadi though, it's like a pea.
Okay. So
Like a
really
little
small.
pea. Yeah, it's like a little teeny pea. And then with the Sublocade, I felt like it was like a small grape almost.
Yeah.
you know? And
Yep.
I tried it both ways. You got lidocaine with yours, huh?
No, I never had anything.
What?
No,
Are you
never.
nuts?
No.
Like I love you and all, but are you nuts? I mean, it burns.
I don't know. It wasn't too bad, honestly, for me. But I never got a 300 milligram shot. The biggest I ever had was 150. So, I mean,
Okay.
so, and that was the one shot I only had. My first shot was 150. That was the biggest dose I ever had. So, that's half. That's half of the shot.
Right.
And it burned for sure, but, it passed within just a few minutes. So, after the first time, I was like, this is no big deal. He never even let the medication warm up at all. He took it right out of the fridge and just went, like some people say, if you let it, cool off, or not cool off, if you let it warm up out of the fridge a little bit, it's supposed to burn a little bit less, but he
Right.
literally just went right for it every time.
Let's just go for it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just
like,
boom, bam, and it was out of there. So it was really,
ouch.
really quick whenever I did it. He never did any kind of shots or ointments or anything to help with the pain. But yeah, I got nervous the first time. I sweated a lot because I was so nervous. That's what I do when I get nervous. I sweat
Me
a
too,
lot. But after the first one, it really wasn't any issue for me at all. I was gonna ask a few more questions.
Yeah.
So what was the dose of Brixadi that they gave you?
Okay, so remind me of the doses that are available.
I don't remember, but I can guess. I think did they set you up to do weekly to start with or monthly to start with?
Monthly. I
So
believe I'm on the lowest monthly.
the lowest monthly. So maybe it was like, I think the lowest monthly is somewhere
I think
around
it's like
60.
48 maybe.
48. That sounds right. I think it's something like 48 and then 96. That's what it is. 48, 96, and then 124 or something like that. I think it's.
No, I take that back. Okay, I'm sorry. I told you wrong. So they gave me, for this month, they gave me 96. And then next month I get 48.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I really think that we should have this conversation again soon.
Me too.
To see, first of all, how you did through the entire month, and second of all, how you did on your next shot, right? Like,
Yeah.
because they're going to lower you. They're going to lower you right down here soon. And you should still have some Sublocade in your system still too, for sure. Especially if you
That's
can.
what I don't understand. I can feel it.
Yeah, if you can feel the bump, then you definitely are still being fed bupe from that location for sure.
And I really think that there's an issue because I have an issue absorbing other meds, mainly like meds. That's why I didn't really fool with the lidocaine with the Sublocade either, because I'm really hard to numb, and I think that's why I had an issue with opiates too, because like originally, because I just metabolize things really fast. I always have everything, even Tylenol, ibuprofen, whatever. And so I think that maybe there was an issue with, where the Sublocade was and the way that my body was absorbing it.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like that could have definitely been, and it's really kind of impossible to say at this point, right?
I know, and I wish I knew, because it kind of like is one of those things where it just kind of makes you crazy almost, where you're like,
Yep.
I think one of the big things that I wanted to say is like, I really, I tried to look into it a lot, and like that's how I found you guys and stuff, and I'm really grateful that I did. But I want to tell anybody and everybody that like is thinking about making the switch, or you made the switch and maybe you're feeling discouraged, don't quit fighting. And like, I feel like, no matter what, if you want this, just, you can do it, but if you've been on Sublocade or Suboxone or, Subutex for 9 million years, don't beat yourself up and feel like shit if it takes you longer than it might take somebody that only took subs for 2 years. Because, and, no, I never want anybody to think that I'm judging or anything like that, but like 13 years, 10 years, 7 years, 5 years even, that's a long time to give your body something every day.
Yep.
And sometimes it might take more of an adjustment period than it might take little Bobby down the street, and so I just want, like, because I think that's one thing that I've really struggled with mentally is like, well, why can't I be like that? Why can't I just go, based on my dose, I really should have been able to start with 100 shots. But because of my situation, like having pain issues and stuff, that's why they gave me the 300 shots. And that made me really sad too. And I felt like I was like a loser or something, which is dumb. Why? Like, I could be doing other things, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, that's my big thing. I don't want anybody to feel bad because, it's taking you longer. You're going up the hill slower.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy how different it is for everybody. Like I was talking about earlier, some people can stop the oral addiction from day one, and it's like, wow, that's very impressive.
Right.
But other people, we were talking earlier, somebody was in here talking about 3 months into it, they're still orally supplementing. So, you just got to be patient and try your best. And if you have the oral stuff sitting in your closet, then you're likely going to reach into it and take it. So,
yeah, and I feel like it's definitely like a big thing too. Like, if you do have to supplement, one thing that I would recommend, and I'm sure you probably have to people, Kevin, but take as the absolute least amount possible. I guess that's my only concern too. Like, maybe just because sometimes it might, I don't know, like you don't have to start out with a half or a whole or a fourth even. So
just take the smallest dose you can to stop the craving, basically.
Yeah, get through your craving, do the best you can for right now, and then like reassess it tomorrow, or whatever. But like my doctor told me, he was like, quit beating yourself up about the cravings, because on the times that I did supplement, he asked me, did you feel better? Did you not feel better? And every time I did feel better, but I still felt really guilty. And when I tell you, like, every time I supplemented, it was like a piece of a nugget, okay? Like, I have no idea how much it even was. Probably like a 30th of a Subutex.
Yeah.
Because they're hard to break anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, I still felt like that was, it's weird because, like, you feel a craving. And every time I did supplement, and that was the scary part for me, I would take a little nugget, and then I felt worse. Not worse, but, like, I'd feel okay, and I'd feel normal, whatever that is. And then, like, then I felt bad, like, nauseated and stuff. And then it's like, no, like, you probably don't really need that. And so that's why I'm, like, 100% convinced that all of my cravings have been, like, other issues that are the beginning of cravings, or the beginning of what I have been so scared of for 13 years, and the feeling that I have tried to run from for 13 years, and so, and I think that's, like, even though I know, like, you tried to tell me and everybody tried to tell me how much of, like, a mind thing this was, I think I really, really underestimated, like, the amount of like mental issues that this would cause with me to like switch and stuff. And it's a great thing and I love it and I would never want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying I really discounted the fact of the hand to mouth.
Like, are you saying it was harder to quit the hand to mouth than you thought it was going to be, or it wasn't as hard?
No, way harder.
It was way hard to quit the hand to mouth addiction.
Harder. And that made me really sad because I didn't think it would be. I thought that it would be fine. I thought, well, as long as I'm feeling fine, it'll be fine. But no, like every time I go, into my purse, I might be grabbing my wallet, but I know my medicine bag is in there. And like, I don't know, it's just weird. And I would think, okay, well, it's just a habit, just like anything else, just like with smoking, just like with, if I wanted to eat 5 cheeseburgers a day and I was doing that for 13 years, I'd probably want to eat 5 cheeseburgers today. But so I think that's the big thing, just for me personally, and for, I guess, like a lot of you guys too, is just like the hand to mouth part. And I think I was almost, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I think I was like arrogant at first, and I thought that part wouldn't be hard for me. And I think like the universe was like, you're cute, but that is going to be hard for you. So suck it up, buttercup. Like, here we go. Take a ride.
Yeah, some people really, really, really struggle with that. And it's like they miss the feeling that they get from their Suboxone. And that's what I was talking about that earlier today as well. It's like, if you really like the way that you feel when your Suboxone kicks in, and that might be hard to let go of. And it's okay to admit that. Some people get some really good feelings from Suboxone. Some people get a little bit of a euphoria buzz from it. Some people get a lot of energy. Some people get an anxiety relief like I do. That's different for everybody. So it can be hard to let that go. I think you and I are
like with like the anxiety relief thing. And so I think when I was having anxiety, I would think like, okay, get nervous, like, and that makes sense,
You're like, I need something to take me out of this state that I'm currently in. Where's my Suboxone?
And I think that's the other big thing too. Like, we have to really get real with ourselves. And when you make this switch, and I know it's the same as when you get off of it, and I know, like, obviously I'm still not free from it, but I've made a lot of steps to like try and be free from it, right? But I think that's when you have to have a real conversation with yourself, like, oh, sorry, I'm going to say that. There's nothing that I can do to make myself feel different in any kind of way. And I think for a long time, I kind of thought like, okay, well, that's going to be fine. Like, I don't want to feel different. I want to feel normal, which is true. However, when normal gets shitty, I think I may have realized like, oh, wait. And that's a very weird feeling. When you're not used to that.
So you probably have heard me give the demonstration about how you feel once you take your Suboxone. It kicks in, then it falls off throughout the day. And on Sublocade or Brixadi, you're supposed to be like this all day. Do you agree with that? How you feel versus how you were on the oral stuff versus being on the injectables? Is it just like I'm saying? It's just you don't feel it kick in, other than maybe the first day when you get your shot, you might feel a boost.
And I only felt it the once with Brixadi. I never even felt it with Sublocade, to be completely honest. But yes, and it's funny because I was even going to mention this. Even my husband noticed there's a huge difference because he could tell like before whenever I would get like kind of, how like you get really pissy sometimes whenever it's been too long. And he's like, you feel a lot better, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I do. And I don't, like, I'm not as, on edge, like, even with, like, my kids or with my own self. And so, and I know I've mentioned this before. I'm not sure if it was, like, it's probably to y'all, so sorry if this is, like, wash, rinse, repeat. But if there's one other thing that I could tell anybody that's going to make the switch too, and I am by no means an expert, but do yourself a favor. And even if your doctor, and I'm not saying don't listen to your doctor, but even if your doctor says, like, for people with chronic pain, like I have chronic pain, and even they might even do this even if you don't. They told me to, like, split my doses up, which is good. Okay, that is good. However, like, don't take it 4 times a day. Don't, because I was splitting it, like even when I was on 4 milligrams a day, I was splitting it up 4 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
That all you are doing is effing yourself sideways for the hand to mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you're doing. And even like, I think if that's like the biggest thing I could recommend, like don't take it more than twice a day if you don't have to. You know, if you do, you do.
Yeah.
But I just feel like taking something that often when we already have all these other issues
Mm-hmm.
that we have to fight through and like going through the swamp and like, you know, to try and get on the other side of this, adding that one where you're like looking for something 4 times a day,
Yep.
doesn't make it fun.
And this is kind of way off topic here, but that's why I tell a lot of people whenever I talk about kratom, and that's why I think kratom is kind of a step backwards from Suboxone, depending on the circumstance. Obviously, there's many different circumstances,
Right.
what they're using it for, etc. But generally speaking, because you have to take kratom every 4 or 5 hours, because that's the half-life of it. That's how fast it comes in and out of your system. So you have to keep redosing.
Yeah.
And so, in my opinion, it's going to be harder to kick that when you're done because, like you said, you're now used to something attacking your brain every 4 or 5 hours your whole day versus taking Suboxone once or twice a day, right? So,
right.
to me,
Like
it all comes
constantly
down to,
asking yourself if you're okay.
yes, you're constantly having to monitor. Am I feeling good enough? Is my pain relieved? Am I going into withdrawal now because it's worn off? Like, it's just, it
Right.
can take a lot of energy out of you to have to monitor yourself like you're in a fucking hospital all day long. You're
All the
monitoring your
time.
systems. Yeah. And so, like she said, you know, the half-life of Suboxone supports taking it just once or twice a day. Once, if you can do it, yeah, take it once. But for me, it was too strong when I took it once, and then it wore off towards the end of the
Me
day.
too.
Because same for you.
Yeah, it was like if I took it once, even if it was 4 milligrams when that was my dose or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, even when it was 8 milligrams, it didn't matter. I felt weird
Too strong.
and I could not handle it. Yeah, I was
Yep.
like, oh God, like, am I okay? And like asking myself if I was okay, but on the total other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so that's why I was like, okay. And then by the end of the night, I was feeling like death, you know, and I was pissy and bitchy because I felt like dog poo. So it was like really hard. And that's, I feel like the nicest part is just being even,
Yeah.
or as even as you can possibly be.
Yep.
It's like the most even taper, I guess, that there is. And there's, I feel like it's just probably the best way. I mean, I don't know because I'm not on the other side, but I feel like if you're going to do it, if you want to get off of it, it seems like this is the easiest way for my circumstances for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something you have to know too, is like, you kind of have to know, are you going to have the emotional power to taper yourself down to below 1/4 of a milligram a day? Like, it's something that takes work
Right.
every
And
single
I
day.
don't.
Right. And so
I know I don't. I'd love to think I do, but I know that like if I had those feelings that I was feeling like during the Sublocade,
Yep.
especially at first where I was like really nervous, I would be like, nope, nope. Where is it? I probably would have just like went back up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know there's tons of people that do it and they do great, you know,
Yeah.
but I just don't know that I could have because I tried, but
Yeah. Slow-mo had made a comment. He says at one point I was taking it 24 times a day. So sad. Suboxone 24 times a day. Damn.
wow. I bet he's glad to be released of that, right?
Seriously, yes. He says in the height of his misuse of subs, he was taking it that many times. Damn.
Yeah. It's interesting that he says that, the misuse of subs, because like that's one thing that I could never get like a lot of the doctors to understand. I feel like when they would ask me those questions and they would say like, oh, well, if you relapse, what would you use? And I'd be like, bupe. Like, this is what I want to get off of. You know, if I relapse, that's what I'm going for. I feel like that's kind of second nature to me now. That's all I really know anymore. And I don't think they really realize sometimes that like, you just want that. You just want to know the most normal way to use that.
I was going to ask you, so as far as how much it costs for you, is your insurance covering both of these medications? Do you have a copay And if so, how much is it?
So I'm really lucky for that. So my insurance they cover it. Now, because of, and I know a lot of places are like this, Texas was not when I was there. Um, so I just pay my doctor's office visit, which is, it's expensive. It's $206.
Dang.
And yeah, and you have to pay with cash. Well, actually, this one you can pay with credit or debit. But they charge you a 3% fee, which I get,
Yeah.
because like I have to do those too for work. But anyway, but like when I was in Dallas, like I just paid, a $20 copay at the doctor, and then like I could get my medicine. And back then they still hadn't, I know they still do, I'm sure they still do, they had the coupon card, and so I could use that for my copay for a while. But yeah, I don't pay anything. We were able to get 6-month prior authorizations on the Sublocade and the Brixadi.
Oh, that's cool. So they're
Yeah,
paying
so I
for
got
the
really lucky on
medication in
those.
full?
In full, yeah. So I just
Shit.
have to pay the office, so it's just $206 a month,
Yeah.
which is, I feel super, super blessed and grateful
Yeah.
because I know that's not always the case. And so I am really glad, even though I feel like it's bullshit that none of the doctors here that do subs, will bill your insurance for it. I think there's also a big problem here with, like, they have issues with the insurance companies coming back later and be like, no, we're not going to pay for it, and they want to get their money back and all that. So I get why they don't, I guess, but it's still bullshit because I feel like it kind of denies a lot of people care. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know?
So your doctor is planning on just giving you only one more shot and that's it?
No, so I'm going to get more.
Okay.
I'm hoping my ultimate goal is to maybe only get like 2 or 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought, and that, I'm glad you said that because that brings me to something else, which I'll get to in a second. But I think so. The next one is going to be the 48 or whatever it is, and then I don't know if I'm going to end up doing any of the 32, the weekly shots. I don't think so. We talked about maybe doing like 1 or 2 of those at the very, very end if I feel like, like I might need like a little bit of something else, but not a full shot.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I was going to say too, is that I think one thing that I really thought whenever I started on this journey too was like that maybe I would get to be one of those people that would only have to take like 1 or 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to say, like, if you are one of those, or if you're not one of those people, like, don't get discouraged because, like, some people just aren't, and that's okay if we have to take it longer, Like, I feel like, because I know some people have to take it for what? You know more than me, Kevin, like, a couple months, and then some people can get away with taking, like, 1. Some people can get away with taking 10, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all over the map as far as what I've seen. It's everyone's been different, so.
And I think I kind of thought in my head, like, okay, I'm going to go get 2 shots, I'm going to be done. So I think, like, if I had it to do over, I just wouldn't, like, tell myself, no, I'm only getting 2 shots and that's it. Because until you get in there, it's hard to tell.
Exactly. Yeah, I see, and I'm glad you brought that up because I see just even today on this earlier part of the stream, I saw people saying, somebody said something like, I'm seeing a lot of people that are doing only 1 or 2 shots and moving on with no withdrawal. And I'm just like, it's just not very realistic, honestly. Like, could it be done? Yeah, sure, it could be done. People have done it. But the majority, it's likely not going to be that smooth coming off of just 1 or 2 shots. Like, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, my doctor was saying too, like, he's had a couple of people like that, but most of the people like that, like, their dosages were really low, and that they were usually, he said, typically they've only been on it for like 6 months, or 2 years or less even. But he said people that have been on it like for longer than a year, really, even a lot of times it takes longer. And he said that he's had people make the jump and not come back after like 2 or 3 shots, but he's also had people that ultimately change their mind and they just go to getting a shot like every 2.5 months. And
Yeah.
he said, and that's okay too. And I love my doctor. I think he's great. Sometimes I get a little nervous because he's so like chill, and I think that's good. But I think then I start to question myself. Okay, is he being too chill? You know. And so, but I mean, he's. I didn't mean to touch my blinker. He's a really nice guy, and I think it's really cool because I mean, he knows that this is getting so many people off, and he's not weird about it like so many other doctors were weird about it, you know? Like, that's why they won't write it, because they don't want to lose the money.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting how different it is. I had a comment recently from Dr. Ken Starr. He said a lot of his patients, he said his practice is getting empty because a lot of his people aren't coming back.
That's awesome. I mean, that's thanks for him, I guess, in a way, but that's awesome. That makes me happy.
Yeah. Gosh, I just had something else I was going to ask you too. So she said pretty much what she said just a minute ago, I think is what you said. Clarify if I was wrong. So when you first got on Sublocade, you were thinking that you were just going to do 1 or 2 shots and be done, right? And then as you get into it, you kind of realize maybe that's not the best way.
I mean, I think I even like said a few times too, like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna get like 3. Like I might get like, you know, like 3 100s or maybe like 1 300 and 200s. And then I'm just going to, you know, mosey on along, like off into the sunset. And I'm just like, Rachel, how unrealistic are you? I mean, this has been 13 years. Like, this is not like, you know, oh, I've been taking it for a few weeks. It's fine. Like, and I think, like, I just really set myself up for a big wake-up call.
Yeah.
Which I obviously needed. But yeah, I was like, oh, it's not going to take that long. Oops.
Yeah, Bupe has humbled the hell out of me, that's for sure. Even when I was trying to get off Suboxone in 2017, 18, whatever the hell that was, I was watching Rock and Roberta talking about how she's going to take 6 months to taper off. And I was like, this chick is stupid. Why would she do that? I'm just going to get off it tomorrow.
Don't do it to yourself for that long.
Yeah, I was like, this girl's crazy. What's she talking about tapering 6 months, 12 months? No way. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I tried, and it blew right up in my face. I was like, damn, that makes sense why people are tapering this shit.
I know. It's like, I think about like the one really, really bad taper that like 3 months later I was still like having really bad symptoms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I wish so bad like this would have been available back then, because like all of those tapers that we fail, like they're kind of, I don't want to say for nothing, because like you said, it humbles the hell out of us, so at least there's that. I wish there wasn't so many, you know, times that I tried, but that's okay. I mean, whatever it takes. So I'm like, I think I'm just now, like I said, I took my first one at the end of April, and I'm just now, at the end of November, getting to a point to where I'm like, if it takes a little longer, it takes a little longer.
Yeah.
Like, I know eventually I'll get there, and I'm trying to not rush it because I just don't want to do it again.
Yeah, that's a good point. So it's been, did you say 13 years since you've been taking street drugs?
So I've actually never really taken street drugs technically. Like I just took Oxy from the doctor for my car wreck.
So prescribed. Yeah. Okay. I think you've told me that before. So wow. Okay. So you don't really ever have cravings for that kind of stuff, right? It's just that's long gone from now.
No, and my heart really goes out to the people that do, because I think that I did get really lucky where I did have cravings at first. Like I remember when I first swapped over, I was like, this is garbage. Like I was like, this is cool, but it's kind of garbage too. Like I don't know about this. And I'm like, but wait, this is so weird. It lasts for so long. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's the thing that turned me on to it too, was this, like, you know, it wasn't like a thing where like in 2 hours I'm like, you know, ooh, feeling a little iffy over here, guys. Yeah. And so, but I do remember feeling like at first, like the same feeling that I have felt many times since then, you know, that constant thing, am I okay? Am I okay?
Yeah.
But I would definitely say now that those were cravings, and I didn't know
Yep.
that I was like craving it still. But then once they got my dose stabilized, you know, it was fine. Oh, and then they put me on tramadol at first with it, which is dumb. Completely stupid.
Yeah. Why'd they do that?
I was still having a lot of pain issues, which was fair. Like, I should have had back surgery, and I didn't. I didn't want to, and I was nervous because I was so young. And, yeah, that's like a derivative of hydrocodone. Like, it's like a sister. Like, that's so dumb. And it did nothing. I wonder why. But, you know, it did nothing. Because back then I was on, like, actual Suboxone, not even Subutex. And, I don't know, so weird. But that lasted like a week, and I was like, well, I'm not getting anything from this, so I'm just going to be done with this. And then after that, I think I was married to the Suboxone forever. You know, or for the next, whatever, 13 years.
Yeah. Jerry just made a comment. He says, I went on vacation for 2 weeks, 800 miles away, and took my last dose, 4 milligrams of subs before I left, and I brought nothing with me. Boy, was that a mistake.
That's always like my biggest fear,
yeah.
like leaving without it. And that's the other thing too that's been really weird. The fact that this is where it used to live in my purse, and that's Tylenol and like Tums. I don't have to have it live in here anymore because it's okay to go to the store without Bupe now. That's wild to me, y'all. Like, when I tell you, like, I can look in my dirty console and probably find like an old Bupe bottle, and because I know it's in here, like, from how long ago? Like, probably like 2 years ago. I mean, the label was disgusting. So it's like, that part's crazy to me that, you know, I don't have to worry about being attached to something anymore.
Yep.
And I'm still not used to it. Like, we actually went to the Renaissance Festival over the weekend for my husband's birthday, and like, I opened the glove box to put something in there before I got out of the truck, and I used to keep like a half of a tablet in my car, and then in the truck, just in case I ever left, I would have something in case I forgot it, which was very rare and typically didn't happen because I'm a chick and we have purses. So, but I opened the glove box in his car or in his truck, and like, there was a bottle in there with a half a tablet. I'm like, that's so weird. I don't have to worry about that anymore. You know?
Yep. Yeah, and like, as Jerry said, like, not having to worry about staying on vacation an extra week or two and going into withdrawal. Do you have enough meds to get you through?
I know, like, poor thing. Like, that's a long time to like have to go without. And I really hope that in the future they make it easier for people where they can call it in or where they will call it in, you know, if something like that happens. Because I'm assuming he probably just had to just suffer.
Yeah, sounds like it. Or maybe, I mean, if I was in that situation, I would probably try to find some kratom that would help patch you through.
Yeah.
Kratom definitely can come through in some clutch situations for sure, but I try to give people the warning to be really careful with it, because it can definitely take you over if you're not careful with it, but it can get you out of a jam in situations like that for sure.
I know I mentioned this before, but I did try kratom whenever I got off of, or tried to get off of Suboxone before, but I didn't know enough about it back then. This was like 2014, I guess, maybe 2015. And I didn't know enough about it, and I was scared because like there was like different kinds, and I was like, I don't know what kind to take. And then I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but the head shops here that sell it, they're so weird. They will not tell you, even though they all take it, they all say they take it, but they won't tell you like, no, get the red one, get this one, whatever. They're just like, it's a vitamin. I don't know. I'm like, okay. So I was just nervous, but I don't know. I guess probably I would assume that different types help different people through different things.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk to you guys. We'll kind of wrap things up here in the next probably few minutes or so, but it's been 3 hours we've been on here. So
Ooh.
there's some people that are worried that their cravings for opiates will never go away, but I don't ever have them anymore. It sounds like you don't have them anymore. You know, maybe it's you're low on bupe, so your body tells you need more bupe type of thing. But as far as like cravings for street drugs or oxys, you don't ever have those anymore.
That's just so wild. Like I don't want to take that at all because like there's been a few times where I've had to, as you know, I have two kids.
Yeah.
And it's such a shitty experience. Like, because you get so fucked up, whenever you take it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, I used to take 30 milligrams 8 times a day of oxy. And I was fine and felt like I was just like this, just like I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like you're on bupe for a while and you take one Percocet 5 or 10 and you kind of laugh at it like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then you're like, wow, I feel fucked up like a soup sandwich. I don't know what's wrong with me. What happened? And I know that happens a lot with people where they, try to take something and they don't have the tolerance that they used to.
Yeah.
But because they're so similar, I thought it would be okay. But I can honestly tell you that the only cravings that I have had in like 13 years have been either for bupe or just like feeling like, really not even like, I wouldn't even actually call them cravings. It was very similar to like, I don't know if you guys saw Tara's video from the other day about, it was her live that she did. And just, I hope this is okay. I'm talking about, even though she's in here and I can't see comments, but just like that feeling of like just wanting to decompress. I have
Mm-hmm.
had that feeling and feeling maybe that I needed to reach for something. But as far as, that goes, I feel like it always goes away really fast
Yeah.
once I just like take a minute to like ground myself and be like, hey, no, you're okay. You don't need anything, and it's completely fine
Yeah.
to be sober, and you want to be sober, and it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good that you can think your way through that instead of trying to go make some moves out there that you shouldn't make.
Right. And I know it's not always it's easy to do, and I'm sure it's different for everybody, but I really think that if you're worried that you're going to get them forever, I feel like we are really all just guinea pigs. We're our
Yep.
own guinea pigs, and we're all just like going through it, trying to figure it out. Like, and it kind of makes me think of like your shots because how long has it been since you had
Six
one?
something months or something like that, around 6 months.
Yeah, and then how many did you have total? You had 3?
No, I had more than that. I think it was 6 or 7. Kind of can't remember
Okay,
anymore.
I
Something. I
knew it
have a
was
video
something
about it.
like that.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, it's like kind of like what we were talking about earlier. I guess like it's just so hard to know. But even if you get in that cycle where you think you're gonna have cravings forever,
Yeah.
I would hope nobody would. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't. And
Yeah.
I
I
hope
don't either.
that everyone out there doesn't either. Like, that would suck.
Yeah, I know some people are worried that they're just gonna have cravings for opiates or fentanyl forever, and I just don't believe that that's true. I think they just need more space between that drug, and space and time is kind of what heals the cravings for most people. You know, if you're say it's just 3 or 6 months off of street drugs, then yeah, you'll likely still have some cravings pop up from time to time. But when you
Yes.
start getting years down the road, those cravings should, for the most part, go away with every year that you get past that, right?
That's the other thing that I feel like is really important. So, like, yes, and let me think of how I want to say this, but, so, yeah, if it hasn't been that long, don't think that you can't get to 5 years, 10 years, whatever, because you can. Um, and and just because even let's say even if you're at 3 years or whatever, or a year and a half, and you're still like really struggling, that's okay because everybody is different and there's no right or wrong answer. Just don't give up and give in to it. Make it your bitch because you just got to keep going. Like, then it's all for nothing. All this being sick, all this fucking money. Excuse my French. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. But I mean, Kevin, like, have you ever, like, totaled up what you spent on this shit? It's disgusting.
Yeah, my addiction has definitely cost me at least $1 million for sure. At least.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's a lot of money. And then, um, you know, and even sometimes if the other route, like going back to the other stuff seems cheaper, no. It's like, it sucks for it to cost you $1 million, but it's worth it for, to pay $1 million for the Suboxone. At least that's how I feel. Like, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it sometimes, just because I hate that, I felt stuck and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's taken me a really long time to get to this place. But everything is happening the way it should happen.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, it doesn't matter. Like, I can't remember the saying, but like they always say, like those people say, well, time's going to pass either way. So like,
Mm-hmm.
just do what you can and be the best that you can. And don't worry about, well, I'm having cravings at this point. But I feel like it's human nature to like compare yourself, at least for me.
Yeah.
I compare myself like, well, fuck, Kevin's been without a shot for how long now? Like, Rachel, get your life together, But I have to remember, like, everybody's chemistry is different.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I've definitely struggled with that too, as well as like comparing my stuff to others and seeing how slow mo just basically rapid tapered his way right off Suboxone, and he didn't need to go with
Right.
Sublocade. So it was like, damn, makes me feel like a little bitch,
Right.
but that's where you have to remember that everybody's on their own level and everyone's life is different, and all the little circumstances that brought you to where you're at right now, it's different for everybody. And so I've really been careful lately trying to give a blanket statement for everybody's recovery, because it's just so different for every one of us. So yeah, I don't want anybody to ever
Yeah.
compare what they're going through to what I've been through, because there's no way to
And I
to
wasn't
match.
saying that because I thought you didn't or anything, or like I thought you said something you shouldn't have. I was just saying that, like, I know that it doesn't matter what you or anybody else says, I'm gonna compare myself,
Yeah.
And but I think that's good because, like, I feel like, especially seeing what happens to, or what's happened to certain people lately in our community, like, I never want anybody to feel any judgment. Nothing but love for me, no matter what. And y'all know you get the good, the bad, and the ugly with Rachel. So whatever, I'm gonna tell you, you know.
That's how we like it, girl. That's how we like it.
That's right. Get all the craziness.
Yeah, we like the craziness around here. Keep it coming.
Right, y'all better. Y'all are stuck with me now. I don't know what to tell
Good.
y'all. Sweet and salty's not going anywhere.
Okay, Rachel, I'm gonna let you get out of here. Let's try to do this again, maybe in another month or two, and let everybody know how everything's been transitioning, and your next dose that you change to. Let us know how that goes. Does that sound good?
I definitely will, and I would love to do that, and keep you guys posted, and hopefully help somebody along the way. And because you guys have helped me a lot, so I appreciate everyone.
Yeah, we appreciate you for coming on here unplanned like this too. I appreciate that. That means a
No
lot to me
problem.
that you
I'm
would
just
do that.
being a creeper in the parking lot, no biggie.
You better go put your
After trying
groceries
to buy
away.
Elf on the Shelf stuff. I know. Well, luckily it was just like Elf on the Shelf stuff that the store I ordered online to like pick up in the store, and they put it away. So I had to go and find my kids' Elf on the Shelf stuff. But yeah, and then get that loaded. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate you guys, and if there's anything that I can do to help anybody, always reach out.
Okay, girl, we appreciate you. Thanks, and we'll talk to you again soon. Okay.
Thanks. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye, girl. Cool, guys. That was cool of her to hop on here unplanned like that and share what it was like to go from Suboxone to Sublocade to now Brixadi. So we'll get an update from her in another month or two and let you guys know how it's been working out for her. So it sounds like she found the right thing that works best for her. And that's important for you guys too. If you're trying something and it's just not working, switch it up, right? I've seen a lot of you recently who watch this channel. You've been changing things up. If you're feeling stuck in life and unhappy and unmotivated, then it's likely that something needs to change in your life. So listen to that nagging feeling that's in your soul every day. If you're feeling unhappy and unmotivated, switch something up. Try something different. Life is short as fuck. don't relapse. Number one goal of this channel is for you to not relapse onto street drugs, aka fentanyl. And if you need to stay on Suboxone long term, then that's what you need to do, right? If you can do a slow taper and get off when the time is right, as you guys seen, she's been off of oxys or painkillers for 13 years. I've been off for I think 8 years now. So we have a lot of time away from the harder stuff, right? So we didn't just get on Suboxone and rushed right off in worries that we might go get back on fentanyl that is killing everybody right now. So it's important for you guys to remember that not everybody has 13 years clean time off of oxys, right? Some people just relapsed last month or last week. And so those people really need to be careful when it comes to getting off of products like Suboxone or methadone. Those medications can really save your life on a daily basis. So just wanted to say that, guys, and just remember that we're all on our own level. Don't compare yourself to me or her or anybody else that's on this channel. This is just a place where we come to give information and receive information and just have a good place to come chat with people who have been in similar places that we are. So I just wanted to mention those couple of things, guys. If you enjoyed her coming on here, please smash the like button. I would appreciate you guys. I think we're at 31 likes on this video. My voice is toast. We have gone for 3 hours and 11 minutes. I want to send a shout out to the sponsors of today's live stream, baby. And that would be KG Smith dropping a bomb. It looks like she dropped a $50 Cash App donation. Shout out to you, KG, if you see this on the replay or if you're still in here. Super shout out to you. I appreciate that, girl. Also, Kimmy B with a $40 Cash App donation. Super shout out to you, Kimmy B, baby. Kimmy B. I know I didn't do that right. Shout out to you, Kimmy. Also, we had Falcons Cloud with a super chat. That was cool to see a super chat on here. Also, we had Marky Rizzo with a $5 Cash App. Shout out to you, Marky. I appreciate the love you've always shown to this channel, brother. And we had Scott with a $10 super chat, and Mikey, a different Mikey, showed up today with a $10 super chat. So I appreciate y'all showing love to this channel. It does take me quite a bit of work and energy and thinking about what I'm going to talk about on here. And it also takes you guys helping keep the chat going. And you guys did a damn good job at that today. So I really appreciate everybody who came in here and smashed that like button and also dropped some comments, dropped some questions. We had some really good conversation today, so I really appreciate each and every one of you. It's nice to see some new people that found this channel. We just jumped over 3,200 subscribers. Let me check and see where we're at right now. So we got a couple more subscribers on today's live stream. We're at 3,208 subscribers, people that watch this channel. I appreciate y'all. Remember, guys, that we do these Wednesday live streams every single Wednesday, same time, same place. So if you need somewhere to come kick back, I was watching for one of my Uber riders. That's actually the first person that I have met and told about in my local community. Kelsey, where you at, girl? Hopefully she can get on here someday and chat with us about her experience. That would be awesome. But yeah, she's one of my normies that I drive around in the morning time on Uber. So very cool to meet somebody here in my local area. She's told a bunch of her friends about this channel. So hopefully she can catch a live stream someday. I think she was going to try to make it today, but I don't think I saw her in the comments. So yeah, guys, I've been working a lot with Uber. So that's why I had to miss the last Wednesday live stream. But I'm still going to keep this channel and this community going and growing. And I'm going to start putting out some more shorter videos because I know that that's what it takes to bring the channel to the next level. So I'm going to work on that. I have got some good video ideas that I need to put together. So shout out to y'all. Rach says, Tara, Kimmy, Slomo, Marky, KG, Kevin, y'all are so good to me. Thank you for everything. Thank you for hopping on here today, Rach. You're awesome for doing that. Tara, it's my pleasure. Rach. Kimmy, are you still in here? Tara, I was going to ask, as we kind of talked about it on Tara's channel, Tara or Kimmy, are either of you guys going to go live after this? If so, let me know and I'll make sure I send everybody over there to watch. We're going to start trying to do that to where, because I know some people would like to keep the conversation going. So Kimmy or Tara, speak up now. If either of you ladies want to stream, I'll make sure I let everybody know. That's where you guys can continue the after hour party. Let me know. If not, if you're not going to stream, that's all good too. But I'll kind of wait. So Kimmy's not going live. Okay, so Kimmy's not doing it tonight. Tara says, yeah, Kimmy, are you going to go live? I'm not going on tonight. Okay, so neither of the ladies are streaming. I'm gonna say going forward, ladies, just let me know when you kind of feel me winding down the stream. Let me know if you would like me to let the people know that you're going to start streaming after I do. So I think that could kind of help grow your channels as well. I'd love to help you all do that. So Kimmy says streams may be done. I don't know yet. No, they ain't done, Kimmy. Ain't no way you stopping those streams, girl. I know you like it too much. Kimmy and Terry, one of y'all better be having an after party. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. Last night messed with me big time. Damn, girl. Maybe just take a little time off then. But yeah, you definitely can't. Did you? Now I'm curious. Now I want to see what happened. I might have to go watch that. Are the streams both still up, Kimmy? Because I know you did like a secondary stream. I'm going to turn on some chill music as we kind of wind this down here in the next few minutes. I really enjoyed today's stream, guys. You guys are awesome. Love this little community that we have here that's been building slowly over the last few years. You guys mean a lot to me for sure here. Turn this baby on. And where am I at here? Okay, so she turned it off. Last night messed us all up. Dang. It sounds like last night got pretty wild. Troll invasion? What the hell? That's scary. There's some settings, Kimmy. Can you guys still hear me okay? Is this okay, the sound? I know there's some settings, Kimmy, that you can switch on to where it's like only subscribers can comment or do anything, so you might look into that. Didn't work, huh? Damn, that sounds scary as hell. Starting up a recovery group soon. All right, let me know on that slow-mo. Damn, that's really scary. Okay, I feel you then. I feel you why you feel uncomfortable right now. I understand. That's really scary. Ugh. See y'all next week. Stay grounded, Jerry says. All right, Jerry. You too, brother. Good to see you in here. Okay, guys, I love y'all, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Have a good week.